And now we just double check to make sure that everything is good and healthy and working as intended. Because sometimes it doesn't. Okay, it's... Yeah, awesome. Okay. Yeah! We are going to be revisiting Halo 5 Guardians for the Xbox One all-in-one entertainment system. That's going to be what this is about. You guess what I'm playing right now? There we go. Post that now for 2 links. One to Twitch, one to YouTube. And everything should be then golden. Oh, already. Okay, folks are already talking. Wood Grump. Well, I'm here. I see you, Wood Grump. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm still posting. Oh goodness, I'm posting like crazy. Posting the relevant links. There we go. Okay, now let me get both chats where I can see them comfortably. Let's see. Crazy how much better the beta looked. Yes, Halo 5's beta looked a hell of a lot better than the final game. At least in some areas. I know they changed their whole lighting model between the beta and the final game, and that's partially why it looks so different. I checked out the new Battlefield 6 update, by the way, and within 2 days of me playing it, I started feeling tired, brain foggy, kind of unable to multitask, just generally exhausted. You know, overstimulation, burnt out. So I'm like, okay, it's still Battlefield 6. Yeah, Ubernick kind of resurged Halo 5 a month ago. It was quite the memory trip. Didn't expect to see anyone streaming Halo 5 Guardians this year. Yeah, it's, So here's the thing. I hop on the Master Chief Collection, and I don't see a lot of games from, you know, things like Halo 2 Anniversary. I see a lot of people poo-pooing Halo 5, you know, or whatever, or like Halo Force Flood mode, or the stuff that's less popular. And something I want to start doing is not just... I want to make people play different Halo games because they enjoy them and not feel bad about it, or feel like maybe they should avoid them, because Call of Duty games, even going back to Call of Duty 4, you can still matchmake in that game, and people are still playing it, even though it's like nearly 20 years old at this point. And I'm like, you know what? We gotta carry that energy into the Halo community a little bit. Just play the Halo games you like. Revisit the old Halo games that you haven't played in a while. They're already over. Whatever criticisms you have, multiple installments have come out since the release of these games. Just go back and play them. It's okay. Legit surprised they gave Halo 5 a Campaign Evolved message of the day. Did they? Did I totally just, like, close? Was there a Campaign Evolved message? That's cool. What's your best Halo? The one that I'm best at? Or my personal favorite for multiplayer? That's so weird. I do have boosts. So I wonder if it's just like a weird issue with... I don't know. Accessing my account. That happens sometimes. I would go back and play Halo 5, but I don't want to pay for online multiplayer. That is completely understandable. Oh crap! Let me boot up the fish game. I forgot to turn on the fish game. Okay. Hang on, fish is coming online now. I don't have Xbox Live anymore. That is completely okay, and it's frankly ridiculous to pay to play games online. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alrighty. Fish game is online. So for those of you watching on Twitch, you are free to start fishing. You gonna open your rec packs? Do I have rec packs? Yeah, I have a couple. They're not interesting, though. It's just like, oh my god, look, it's gonna be an XP boost. Okay, well, I was... I was completely wrong. Rebecca caught the Atlantic cod. Didn't they have Halo 5 Forge on the PC? Oh, they did. They did. It was bizarre, the Halo 5 Forge PC version. And not oh, somebody's trying to fish on YouTube. I'm sorry, my friend. The fish game only works on Twitch. Well, we got the Banshee Ultra. Let's see what's in this one. Whoa, Tundra Mantis, bro. Good pulls. We think's in this one. Oh, come on, come on. Halo 2 BR, let's go. Is bro 152? Bro is not 152. Hang on. Matchmaking, it was struggling to find me a game, so... There, I just deleted all of my data. But that's okay. Because, watch this, it's still going to have all my data anyways. It's a trick that I learned recently for some of the Halo games, especially Halo 5, they get weird sync-related issues. And then you just get locked out of multiplayer. Yeah, there it is. Campaign Evolved. That's cool. And I found a quick trick to fix it is just wipe all of your data and have the Xbox re-download your Halo 5 data. And you didn't even see it happen because of how fast it is. LNG, have you actually gone fishing? I have gone fishing. Like twice, I think, in my life. And unfortunately, both times were when I was young and lacked patience. I feel like I'd like fishing. Well, no, I don't think I'd actually like fishing. Because I'd feel bad. I'd feel bad. I wish online sub was not a I wish online sub was not a requirement for this game, or for it to be on PC. Yeah, I know. Paying to play online is still ridiculous. I still hate what they did to the Infinity. The Banished are a skirmishing force. They shouldn't be able to compete that greatly with the strongest fleet in the human navy and all of its support fleet. My dude, the Banished are a hell of a lot more than a skirmishing fleet. Like, by the time of Halo Wars 2, they were so confident in their strength that they launched an attack directly against another UNSC ship. Atriox is single-handedly taking down Spartans, a team of them. And by the time of Halo Infinite, Doizak was completely destroyed. Dude had no patience left. Dude had no patience left for the UNSC. And when he found the Infinity, it had been on the run for how many years? How many crew was it down by that point? It's like, just because it is the strongest does not mean it has built-in plot armor to withstand any weakness, regardless of context. It was most definitely the UNSC at its weakest, most vulnerable, and Atriox, as the genius he is, exploited that and took down the Infinity. Like, they began training. You see by the time of, like, Halo Infinite, like, the training facilities that they have, like, they had been very emboldened by the destruction of their homeworld. They're very galvanized by it, and they're ready to just, like, they're done with, like, pretending to even remotely respect the human race. Like, let's attach gravity hammers to the front of all of our spaceships and just fucking pound that thing. Hey, dude, can you say Bubsy 3D? I can. Bubsy 3D.
West Armory captured.
I've always hated the idea that the Banished was made OP. Like, there was no build-up, and suddenly the Banished are stronger than the Covenant. It's not that the Banished are stronger than the Covenant, and there was build-up to them. In fact, it took them... how many years? How many years and how many years of, like, hiding in the shadows? Like, the battle for the Ark was the first time that the Banished were bold enough to actually have kind of one-on-one conflict with the major players. Because for the most part, they just hang out, stay away from the action, steal what they can here and there. Like, this isn't an example, this isn't, you know, like the First Order in Star Wars, where it's just suddenly they've come out of nowhere and they're super powerful. Like, Halo's put in quite a bit of work to kind of set up the Banished in Halo Wars 2 and explain why we haven't seen them for a very long time. It's because they were playing smart and staying away from the action until they were big enough that they could join the action.
Captured.
The Covenant were sabotaging, the Banished were sabotaging the Covenant since Halo 2. Yeah, they had all even established that. Fish! Didn't read the part about the smaller ship? The Banished couldn't even destroy a smaller ship in Halo Wars 2. Well, I'd imagine if you're a tactician and you engage in a conflict and you fail, you're going to study why you fail and change your tactics, you know? And as we see by the time of Halo Wars 2, like, all right, boys, make massive gravity hammers on the front of all of our spacecraft. When you see a UNSC ship, you're going to drive straight into it. Dozens of you. We are going to board the ship before they have the ability to get into their own fighters. We're going to attack them so fast that they're not going to know what hit them.
Wreck confirmed.
Here, we're popping this, this damage.
East Armory captured.
Do you think Halo 5 should have had a brute variant of the storm rifle, or would that have been redundant with the brute plasma rifle? I don't think it was necessary. I don't think that idea is necessary just because the brute plasma rifle exists. And the Halo 5 storm rifles, there were 3 of them, right? Which seemed to be the thing that they were going for.
Elite Ultra takedown.
Ready. Let's pick up his, hell yeah. I doubt I'm going to be able to do anything with this, though. But that's okay. We'll see if we can get it to work. I think people often think the Banished came out of nowhere because they originate from a series of RTS spin-off games. Yeah, I definitely think that that's the case. And then it's also people confuse how recent their debut was with how active they were in the Halo fiction. Like, they were only introduced a couple years ago. Why are they suddenly the most powerful thing in the galaxy? It's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with their introductory cutscene, explaining that they've been doing shit for a couple of decades.
Enemy core defenses back online.
Like, what is the solution to this problem? Should Halo have made 30 years of games with no conflict, and then we have the Banished come out in whatever Halo releases in 2060? Like, it's okay to introduce a new faction and be like, here's why you haven't seen these guys in the entire run on the series. LNG, please look at this. Do you think that we're going to be getting a Half-Life 3? If it's called Half-Life 3, then that would be crazy. But we're going to get something Half-Life related. It's pretty much like the world's worst kept secret at this point, right? Ah! Like, let me put it this way. If you are okay with the Prometheans having been a thing in Halo the whole time, despite you never seeing them and nothing in the Bungie games ever establishing, hey, by the way, there's also a sect of Forerunners that look like weird monster face people that have completely different architecture. You've just never seen them before. Then you should be okay with the Banished, because they operate on the same logic. Now, if you aren't okay with that, then that's another thing. But it's just, you know, the longer a franchise goes on, it's got to introduce new things. It's going to retcon some history so it can introduce those new things. And ultimately, like, it's fictional. It's okay. It's not that serious. Halo's not that serious. They're just a bunch of monkey pirates.
Wreck confirmed. Enemy eliminated Tankmaster Rock.
The solution to the problem is definitely that they weren't in a real Halo game before Halo Infinite. Well, at that point, it's like, you're right. They should have invented... 343 Industries and Microsoft should have built a time machine so that they could go back in time and include the Banished in older Halo games. It's like... You know? I don't know, it's not a problem to me. The Covenant has served its purpose. Got to introduce a new original enemy faction. Also, the Banished aren't Covenant 2.0 because they don't worship the rings. They're rather tribal, gathering together to fight under one leader. Well, the Banished are more of like... So, if you know anything about the way that throughout history, when empires fall and when they collapse, usually what happens, what comes up and takes their place, are those who were directly affected negatively by the empire. And they kind of gather up the disenfranchised, they gather up even ex-members of that empire and put them right back to work. Like, it's just one of those cyclical things. Like, the Banished, their place in the Halo fiction actually makes a surprising amount of sense. Like, the Covenant did operate a religious cult / empire, and it was not victimless for those who were part of it, you know, as any cult can attest. Eventually, you know, people will be kind of outcast, people will be excommunicated, wronged by the cult that they called home, and they're going to take that personally. And then somebody comes along and says, hey, you got beef with them too? You feel lied to as well? Let's fuck them over. Like, that anger brings people together, and that's kind of what unifies the Banished. They're just like, their anger at the way that they were used by the prophets.
Wreck confirmed.
And then with Halo Infinite, that anger kind of extends to the rest of just the Milky Way galaxy, it seems. Because with Halo Wars 2, it was pretty much just, like, fuck the prophets, you know? And we're gonna fuck up anybody who gets in our way. Like, we're out for ourselves. And then with Halo Infinite, the UNSC destroyed the Brute homeworld. Like, Cortana destroyed it. You know, it doesn't matter the technicalities and stuff. Something that humans built destroyed the homeworld of the Brutes. And tried to take over the Milky Way galaxy. Like, humans are too much trouble. Damn it. Hey, Late Night, love your video so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining as well. My idea for Infinite Story was that we fight the Created and halfway through the Banished showed up, like a third faction, like the Flood, Prometheans, or even the Sentinels. But instead, we got Created oft before Infinite started. LOL. Well, that was their prerogative.
Incoming Prometheans in the chasm. Wreck confirmed. We're halfway to victory.
LNG, I think the best comparison is that the Banished are similar to the Visigoths raiding Rome shortly after its fall from grace. Exactly.
East Armory captured. We control all bases. The enemy core is vulnerable. Promethean warp imminent. Enemies eliminated a soldier operative. It's Night Strategos.
And I think the Banished also, it needs to be handled well going forward, but they've definitely, like, Halo Infinite, the most interesting part is also the weakest part, I think, in that the Endless have a shit ton of potential, and on paper, it's actually a pretty cool direction to take the series in. Introducing something that has just kind of, like, never been a factor in the Halo series before, something that survived the Halo rings. And something that the Forerunners deliberately hid, because it kind of, you know, gets in the way of their plans for rebuilding the Milky Way galaxy post-Flood. So obviously the Endless, they got a lot of problems with the way that things are set up and the way that, like, the Milky Way galaxy progressed, because they see it as, like, you're all products of the Forerunners. But in-game, obviously, you know, 343 kind of notoriously never did their B-plots well. Like, in Halo 4, the Didact was the B-plot, with Cortana and Chief being the A-plot. Didact was the weakest part of Halo 4. In Halo 5, Chief going rogue, maybe, was the B-plot, we could say. That wasn't handled too well. And then in Halo Infinite, the B-plot's the Endless, and that also was fairly weak. But it totally makes sense for Atriox to see kinship with the Endless. Because for Atriox, you know, he still has the scar. Like, the reason he has a robot arm is because he caught the Executioner's blade right before the Covenant executed him for just being exhausted and watching his friends die all around him over and over and over again. Like, they executed him because of that, because he dared to waver in his faith after losing so many family members to just, like, Covenant nonsense. Like, Atriox is tired of oppressors and the oppressed, which also can feed into some of the hypocrisy of Atriox, which is, you know, ironically, he kind of became the very thing he sought escape from, which, yeah. Parents that bully and abuse their kids usually turn their kids into bullies and abusers. So it's like shit gets passed down. And it totally makes sense that Atriox would see the Endless and everything that they went through, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna cause some fucking chaos together."
Capture bases and destroy the enemy core.
Hey, been rewatching the
Enemy
evolution
defenses
videos.
are
Can't
up.
get enough
Capture
of
the
them.
armory.
Are you gonna do an evolution video on the Warthogs or even the Spartans? Yeah, I would like to do that this coming year. Get both of those videos done. Yeah, let me see if I can actually play. Halo 5 is a very hard chat and play game. Sometimes you need to lock in a little bit. If Halo Studios... Damn it. Hang on, I see an interesting potentially. Atriox was more reasonable in letting humans stay in the Banished, but Ephraim wanted them all dead. I'd say even Atriox probably has a little bit of stigma towards the human race. Just couldn't really get into Infinite, especially with everything interesting about the Reclaimer saga happening off screen. Cortana dying off screen was a big mistake. Did she die off screen? Almost the entire plot of Halo Infinite was what happened to Cortana. Like, the whole game is you figuring out that she died and how she died. In fact, you get to see her final words, and not just that, you get to see her goodbye message to Chief. I never agree with that. She died off screen. It's like, no. If you want, I can show you the almost 5-minute cutscene that shows the exact moment she died, as well as all of the events leading up to it. It's there. It's in Halo 5. You get to see it if you'd like. It's like, just because you did not get to personally play through it in real time does not mean that it happened off screen. Yeah, she literally died on screen. Like, I saw it. In fact, I still remember the way Atriox said, like, Cortana, no! You know, well, she just, like, walked away. And then kaboom.
Level 2 Rex available.
Whatever happened to the insurrectionists? Did they just stop insurrecting? No, I think they're still, you know, up to their shenanigans. It's just like, you know, they're just doing their thing. I'd imagine Cortana made them even more mad. Because it's like, what the fuck? What are the UNSC doing over there? What's going on? The Cortana scenes were definitely handled well with those echoes. Well, Halo 5 or Halo Infinite, it's a game that has a lot of narrative themes around you already making a mistake and regretting the mistake and thinking about the events that led up to the mistake and what you would do differently if you could go back in time. Like, that kind of was like the whole... I mean, the first words of the campaign are if you knew how you would die, how would you live your life differently? So it's a game about regret, about missed opportunities, about doing things differently. So throughout the whole game, like there's this kind of like melancholic aftermath feeling. You know, that it's like the damage is already done and you can't change that. How are you going to live your life differently now? And the Cortana echoes, there's like a certain sadness to that. You know, that it's just like, what happened to Cortana? Where is she? What's going on? Why is the ring fractured? And he never even gets to say goodbye to her. He never gets to say goodbye to her. All he's got are literally dust and echoes. Like, he just listens to her thought. Like, there's something like very eerie about the way...
We need that capture.
like some of the weird, mad, crazy whisperings as you're moving through the Forerunner hallways, and it's just all of her insecurities and her inner thoughts and like the self-hatred, even though she's also trying to rationalize what she's doing. It's the stuff in Cortana's subconscious that is slowly starting to bubble to the surface over time, and just she being forced to listen to the things she truly felt about herself. But she felt like she was too deep in the mistake. She had to keep going. There was no going back. Don't even worry about the gameplay, by the way. I'm a little bit cooked as far as this gameplay goes.
10 seconds.
It's also really hard to aim in Halo 5. I forgot how extremely weird the aiming was.
They shut us down. Ending simulation.
What are we saying? Who was a cooler brute, Atriox or Tartarus? I'll be honest, Tartarus. Atriox I like a lot, but he does a hell of a lot of aura farming. Like I want him to, I guess, have more of a specific goal. That isn't just like I want to know more about what motivates him specifically, because most of his Halo Wars 2 cutscenes were him aura farming and beating the living snot out of people. I guess like with Tartarus, you see moments of weakness. You see like I think of like the cutscene where, you know, like the prophets have betrayed us. And then Tartarus has that moment where he looks down at Guilty Spark, and it's just like you can see the gears turning. Like he's beginning to connect the dots that the Covenant is a lie. And then it's just, no, Arbiter, I will lead the brutes, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like the tragedy of he almost had it. There's another timeline out there in the multiverse where he actually agreed with Arbiter. And that's what's so tragic. And you don't really see that with Atriox. He's just very, like, Atriox desires something, and then he either achieves it, or gets angry and orders one of his lieutenants to go achieve it for him, you know? Or he scolds somebody. The most characterization you see is in Isabel's explanation of who Atriox is. You don't actually see what motivates him in the present tense. Like, I do get the point of getting mad at Warden, which could be argued as the main Halo 5 villain. Oh no, Warden Eternal wasn't the main Halo 5 villain. He was a secondary antagonist. One of many secondary antagonists, you could argue. Because there was also, like, Governor Sloan.
Initiating Warzone simulation.
The main antagonist was
Hold
Cortana
bases,
in
take
Halo
down
5.
bosses, and eliminate enemy Spartans to earn
Oh
points.
man, they what they did with the Warden Eternal in the books is actually
Levies
cool.
are assaulting our core.
They
Eliminate them to secure our home
you know how like
base.
Warden Eternal
Let's support
doesn't
those Marines, Spartan.
they don't explain what the Warden Eternal is very well. Well, no, they don't explain at all what he is in Halo 5. Or why, like, he doesn't seem like a traditional Forerunner
Home base
AI.
secure. Lockdown
And then the
disabled.
books are like, well, that's because he's not a traditional Forerunner AI. And what they explain is that basically, in kind of a panic,
Teammates eliminated the soldier commando.
within Forerunner Society, they have basically the
Red
internet,
confirmed.
and it's called the Domain. That's all you have to worry about. It's the internet. It's called the Domain, and the Domain is tied to their religion. Like, you know how Afterlife and stuff, it has multiple different religious backgrounds here for us humans, and we can theorize about it, but we'll never know for sure until we finally reach the afterlife. In Forerunner society, the afterlife is real and can absolutely be measured with scientific equipment. Like, hey, look, that's it right there. That's what the afterlife is. And they have equipment that lets them tap into the afterlife. And when Forerunners die, basically their essences are digitized and uploaded into the Forerunner Afterlife domain internet thing. And in the book, this recent Didact book, what they explained basically was like, oh, the Warden Eternal, you want to know what his deal is? Well, when shit was hitting the fan with the flood, and then the firing of the Halo ring, bits of the Forerunner internet afterlife thing, it's made in a very similar way to the construction of, like, a brain. You know, there's something very organic about the way that it's been constructed, which makes it susceptible to the firing of the Halo rings. So all of those Forerunner, you know, ancestors and stuff, all those memories, all those, like, basically the rings were about to nuke Forerunner heaven. And the domain protected itself by, in a panic, assembling all super religious Forerunners that are super in tune with the domain and commune with it and stuff. And it was like, you're all getting in here to protect my ass. And it fucking shoved them all into one consciousness. And that's what the Warden Eternal was. So the Warden Eternal is insane, is constantly being pulled between different versions of itself, and it's just like, I'm a trillion people, I don't know what I am, I have to guard the domain, I'm gonna kill you all if you even look at it funny. And that's what the Warden Eternal is. He's the screaming, maniacal ghosts of like a trillion dead Forerunner priests that have all been smushed into the same skull and live to protect the domain forever, and they can never rest. Oh. So the Warden is a rampantly aggressive Forerunner hive mind that is a religious zealot. Yes. Basically. I think I'm just taking my sweet time. Who cares about the kills? Kills are for suckers, right? In fact, after this mode, I should probably actually switch over to a mode that is easier to talk and play. Because Halo 5 is... What makes it so sweaty is just how much goddamn range everything is. And just like how crazy the movement is. Like, players are all over the place in this game. Which definitely makes for, like, fun viewing, I think, in, like, competitive esports and stuff like that. But for... It's not an easy game to just unwind with. You know what? Let's get advanced sensors. So we can see folks coming from, like, 1,000,000 miles away. Yeah, we'll get the whispered truth.
Confirmed.
And Warden has some bodies left outside of the domain with minds of their own. Now that the main mind is dead, that would be neat to explore. Well, the bodies...
Monument captured.
The bodies are... There isn't, like, a main mind to the Warden Eternal. You know, the Warden Eternal almost is, like, kind of similar to the Grave Mind in a sense, where there is a single Warden Eternal. And it's a composite mind of millions of minds. Sort of like how the Grave Mind is not like, hi, hello, it's me, the Grave Mind, I was born on this date, here's my childhood story. Like, the Grave Mind just sort of became... Eventually, after enough people are fed into it, and it becomes more complex as more minds are fed to it. Like, it's not an entity in the traditional sense, or at least in a way that we can understand, because we're not, you know, we're not made out of billions of individuals. And the Warden Eternal is similar in that way. I honestly love the Warden Eternal. His design is sick. His design is cool. He doesn't look very Forerunner-y, but
teammates are falling to the Banshee Raider.
It's okay. It's a cool design.
Teammates eliminated the Banshee Raider.
100 plus live viewers with YouTube on, unlike the Twitch exclusive stream last time. Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, some of you should go follow me on Twitch. Every now and then I do Twitch exclusive streams. And Twitch has a really cool fishing game. I have 117 days in Halo 5. I'm obligated to no longer play the game. That's completely understandable. Late night, I'm having trouble getting gifts for people. Like physical gifts or like game gifts? Could be a hot take, but the Warden looks more Forerunner like than the Crawlers or Knights. See, I think Warden looks exactly like the Crawlers and Knights. Like they're all part of that same. Like if you stick the Warden Eternal in like a hallway from, you know, Halos 1 through Reach, I think that the Warden Eternal would stick out like a sore thumb. He'd look like one of these things is not like the other, you know? In the same way that like a Crawler or a Knight would. I found some art documents from Halo Wars 2 that details the rules of designing Halo 5 style Forerunner art, and it's super interesting. I'll have to. The problem though is that it uses terminology from like actual artists, people who have studied art and the like. So I'm gonna have to like poke some of my art friends and ask them to kind of like explain what some of the terminology is. Like Halo 5 art uses a lot of 70-30. And also no 45-degree angles, which was kind of interesting.
Ready with the sword.
YouTube Live is still a banger. We like Rumble. No. The only people who like Rumble are people who use Rumble, and even then, I think that they daydream about just streaming on Twitch or YouTube. People who like Rumble cope, is what I'm trying to say. If it were my design, I'd have designed the Warden to look a lot more practical. Ah! Okay. See, always, I look away and then someone kills me. A single rectangular eye, some heavy, bulky sentinel-like armor, a hand laser or an ancient needler, and a hard light arm shield. You know what would have been pretty badass? Is if the Warden Eternal just pulled its... Like, the Warden Eternal existed as a digital construct, and whenever it needed to interact with the physical world, it just used any and all Forerunner technology around it to physically build a body. You know? Think of, like, the control room or something, or, like, any of the hallways in Combat Evolved. Imagine the lights start dimming. Forerunner panels start kind of, like, peeling away off the wall. Some sentinels come in, maybe form a core or an arm here or there. And it's always the same silhouette, but it's essentially, like, a pile of junk that comes together to form a makeshift body for the Warden Eternal.
Enemies destroyed a Mantis target. Enemies destroyed a Mantis target. We've lost the lead.
I liked the armor of the Warden for the Chimera Core in Infinite. I really like his Infinite look. Well, he's just a, it's basically just like Spartan armor, right? I wouldn't even say that that's him. That's like a costume.
Firing! Help me out!
Okay,
Red confirmed.
here's my goal. I'm gonna lock in as long as I have this. Oh, that thing's gonna kill me. Let's try to be serious. Just while I have this. See if I can actually make this worth something. Damn. Okay, I already felt. I've also got, even though I've got these on, I've got the game muted. Because I couldn't focus because there was so much noise going on. Here, let me turn it up just a smidge. I wonder how Bungie would have designed the Warden. Bungie liked AI being relatively harmless in terms of like a physical sense. Like they're either represented by avatars like Cortana or they are a floating light bulb, you know, like Guilty Spark. They liked it kind of being like, well, of course the computer guy looks like a computer. Why would the computer guy look like a person? People are people, not computers. I wonder if you could recreate Warzone in Halo 5 Forge. Halo 5 Forge? Or Halo Infinite Forge? You probably could create Warzone in Halo Infinite Forge. Yeah, aiming down the sights don't belong in Halo. It is weird. I don't think this will ever look right to me. Like, that's Call... Why is he doing the Call of Duty? I'm just kind of walking around now. How rare are the DMRs in the rec packs? I'm not sure, actually. I don't know the rarities. I know this is going to sound really odd. If you're opening up Halo 5 rec packs, you do not want to start with golds immediately. You actually want to start with bronzes, I think. It's either bronzes or silvers.
Incoming Prometheans detected.
Because it's like, if you're opening golds and you're fresh, there is a chance you're going to get shit that can be found in bronze or silver packs. So it's like you want to get the cheapest packs out of the way first. That way, by the time you get to the golds, all that's left to unlock are stuff exclusively found in gold. Something like that. There's like there's a math, a logic to how you want to open up rec packs. Why are you ADSing just for a HUD to pop up? Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Teammates eliminated a soldier bandit. We've gained the lead.
Yeah, I definitely got to play something other than Warzone after this match is over. Be a little bit easier to focus.
We're nearing victory.
I know this is maybe a personal opinion. Well, of course it's a personal opinion. If it's your opinion, of course it's personal. I'm personally okay with aiming down the sights in Halo. Yeah, that's a personal opinion, man. Just say it. Just say it. You don't have to be like, is this, like, permitted? I feel like we need a little bit more of just like, I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. Don't apologize for what you believe in. Oof. Damn it. That's okay. Did the CE remake have assassinations? Weirdly enough, it did not. And I couldn't imagine it would be hard to implement. I mean, maybe it wouldn't look very polished, because the Campaign Evolve game is using the Reach engine under the hood. All the Covenant were using Reach animations. Which, by the way, it was very cool seeing Halo Infinite grunts that were using Halo Reach animations. That was actually cool, because the Halo Infinite grunts actually line up surprisingly well with Reach's animation set. Same with the Elites, for that matter. But I don't know what would happen if you just use Reach animations. All right, then. I'm okay with sprinting Halo. See? There you go. Just say it. If you believe it, then just say it, man. This game mode is meh. It's when it is at its best, it is the coolest thing in the world. But when Warzone is at its worst, it is miserable. And it's kind of like a 50-50 balance. There is a lot of good in Warzone that I think could be iterated on in a future version of the mode.
Get their hammer off me.
But yeah, Warzone is miserable when it's bad.
Incoming Covenant threat detected above the monument. Enemy grenades.
Warzone is mostly untapped. Yes. It is a mode with a lot of promise, and it deserves a version number 2.
Excellent work, Spartan. That's a victory.
And especially now that they have like new hardware and stuff, like you could probably squeeze a lot more out of Warzone that they probably couldn't do in this version of the mode, just due to, you know, I mean, look at that city in the background. That looks awful. Like 360 maps looked better than that. Nothing about the presentation is convincing as a city environment. There's no shadows anywhere. The textures are flat. Everything looks flat, and it's because it's like it's doing something ambitious for the Halo engine on the Xbox One hardware at 60 frames per second with AI running around. You know? They're like, sorry guys, we have to kind of make it look like Minecraft. Like, could you imagine just Xbox Series X and PCs and PS5? You could probably get the maps bigger, have more players, have more intelligent AI, and have it look more visually interesting. You wouldn't have to just place a bunch of empty buildings with no shadows on them. Okay, you know what? Let's do quick play. Hey, the Reach animations and AI in the CE remake look really bad, in my opinion. I don't think they look bad. I just think, as a Halo fan, I'm very familiar with those animations. And I'm also familiar with the aspects of those animations that I wasn't a fan of. And it sticks out to me, at least. Like, they serve their purpose and they're fine. But I think Infinite's animations for AI look a hell of a lot better. And I think Combat Evolves... Like, okay, in Halo Reach, I noticed this trend. Like, Halo 2 and Halo 3 AI are like... the animations are super goddamn rough. They're rough looking, but they mostly do the job fine, even though they have no real reason for being that unpolished. Combat Evolves still look great, but they're canned in a sense. Like, you can tell that when an elite is running, it's not like 1 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot, 2 foot that's propelling him forward. It looks like he's sliding along the ground and an animation is playing, if you catch my drift. You know, like there's no sense of physics or weight behind it. It's just an animation that's playing as the entity slides around. Halo Reach's animations, though, they they all serve their functions well, but they lack emotion, which is kind of weird. And you see that in moments where, like, you know, you catch an elite by surprise, and the elite has to kind of, like, turn around to face you, and he'll just be like, you know, and there's just, like, there's nothing in the eyes, nothing in the face. It looks, like, robotic, almost, you know? Same with the jackals. When the jackals run away from you in Halo Reach, you know, you pop their shields, they do their, oh my god, my shield was popped, how will I ever recover animation. And then they just walk away. Like, they walk. You know, their standard walk. But it's like, in Combat Evolved, you guys would be, like, shivering and quivering and running with your hands over your head. But in Halo Reach, there's no context or urgency or emotion behind any of the animations. They're just, here's the animation for when the elite turns around. No context. Okay, what if he's in a, like, active war zone and the elite should have some urgency, you know, some, like, oh shit, I'm being fired at. Like, you don't get that. He calmly turns around. The Jackal's shield has been popped. He will now calmly walk away from you. Ah! I freaking love that glitch where for some reason your foot gets stuck. That was part of the Halo 5 beta, and they never fixed it for the final game. The other one is when your head would get stuck in the geometry, and that carried into Halo Infinite, thankfully. It's very funny in Halo Infinite when a grenade shoots you up into the air, and then your head gets stuck in the ceiling, and so your body's just, like, hanging there. It's like something out of a cartoon. It's honestly terrifying seeing a Brute Chieftain chase you in Firefight Classic on Halo Infinite. It's pretty scary. It is pretty scary. I do, though, largely think I prefer the animations of the Halo 3 Brute Chieftains. And just Brutes, I guess, in general. Like, the Halo Infinite ones, I think, are great. And they're expressive, and it's easy to get a read on the Brutes and what they're thinking or feeling. But what I like about the Halo 3 version better, like, maybe not, you know, execution, obviously, like, Halo Infinite's look much more polished, but I like in Halo 3 that they felt like, they just, like, they felt so goddamn sloppy in Halo 3. Like, they're all holding their hand, they look like gunslingers, you know, they've got all of their weapons held in one hand. When the Brute Chieftain has his freaking gravity hammer, he looks like an animal, like hunched over and breathing heavy. And, you know, he'll readjust it in his hand, you know, he's like looking around for you. And just like sometimes he'll slip and temporarily run on 3 legs before catching his footing and get back into bipedal running. And in Halo Infinite, it just kind of looks like a dude. Like a guy, like a really big fat guy running at you. And they sped up the animation. You know, I guess, like, it's more intelligent looking in Halo Infinite, where I think the Brutes are, there needs to be, like, 30% more animal in their animations. Because Brutes are definitely, like, an intelligent species, but they have not overcome, like, the adrenaline that they have just biologically, the kind of rage that they feel as a biological thing rather than a character flaw that they can overcome. Like, it's just their biology. They're very rooted to their animal instincts and stuff. And I think in Halo Infinite, they're animated like people. They just, you know, even to the point that, like, the Brutes hold their pistols like this. And I'm like, why is a Brute holding a pistol like a human soldier was trained to, you know? I feel like the brute would just, he'd frickin' use one hand, you know? He's just like, I can point at him! Why do I need two hands? You think I can't control the recoil? Ah! Take this! He won. I almost prefer they didn't do the match composer. Match composer is like, you guys meant well, but I think you missed, it's for end of life, a server browser. Like, none of this match composer, just a server browser. You could have your matchmaking. Like, don't get me wrong, I think there are some people that just want to press one button and get thrown into a match of their choosing. But I think you need both. The match composer and just a server browser. At least for end of life. LNG, I think the thing with Halo Reach animations is they're intentionally dehumanizing the Covenant. The Covenant are supposed to appear like monsters, so they stripped back their personalities to reflect that they're not humanized, and they just intentionally dialed back too far on the emotional scale and made them seem not alive altogether. That's true. That's true. I also think some of it is because Halo 4 also suffered from that, like the Reclaimer Saga animations. Except, weirdly, for the soldiers. I get more emotion out of the Promethean soldiers than I do pretty much anybody else. I think it's a problem of outsourcing animations and not having as much oversight, or it's just like, I don't know how to articulate it. It feels like a problem that can be solved in the workplace. Because it feels like a lot of the animations are built in a silo where they aren't really aware of what the gameplay context is going to be. Like, when an elite shield pops and he starts charging the player, what situation is he most likely in? You know, because for the animator who's like, okay, buddy, you're going to build an animation of an elite running really fast. And we're going to be using it for when the elite shields pop or whatever. Like, the animator probably doesn't understand, like, the bullets are going to be flying, whizzing around and stuff. Like, he's just like, okay, I made the elite run faster. There you go. And then you drop it into the game and it just looks like an elite running faster. Like, it was almost designed without the visual context of when this animation will be played. And you see it also with, like, some of the other animations. You know, like the elite turning around I just mentioned. In Halo 4, the Jackals have this hilarious hop that they do when they turn to face you. Where they will literally, like, hop in the air to change direction. And they can sometimes get caught in, like, hopping cycles. Where they'll hop left, then they'll hop right, you know, or depending on if you're running laps around them. And that definitely did feel like, hey, dude, can you make us a Jackal? We need a Jackal turning to the left, and then the same style but turning to the right. And he's like, okay, got it, there you go. Like, I had him just do a little hop. And then you plop it into a combat situation, and it's like, oh, no, like, it looks funny. It looks like the Jackal's dancing. Like, he doesn't realize he's being shot at, or he's tracking a target. It's just like a workplace issue, where it's like, by the time of Halo Infinite, I actually think that they were way better about making sure that all the animations kind of fit the context that they're playing in. Like, because the Banished feel incredibly expressive in a way that, like, Halo really hasn't felt. Arguably since Halo 1, some people would say. But if you wanted to be really nitpicky, there are probably some that would say Halo 3 ODST.
Game over. Victory.
The Elite Homeworld was the coolest part of this game. It was. It really was. There we go. That was a little bit better. What do you think? Warzone, there was just too much going on. With Arena, I felt like I could like focus a little bit more. I was never a big fan of the Magnum in Halo 5. It always felt way too OP. Well, I think that was the point of the Halo 5 Magnum, is that it's the primary gun of the competitive modes. Like, if you want to, you could use your assault rifle and run around, but if you actually wanted to perform, that Magnum is your primary weapon. And the weapon you want to trade out is your assault rifle. A bit like Combat Evolved, in fact. Gotta say, it's weird seeing your face for the first time. Oh, this is your first time seeing my face? I'm sorry. Tsunayon is arguably one of the coolest set pieces in the series. I was let down by Tsunayon, the final Tsunayon. I won't lie. I think it is cool. I think it's really ambitious. But I'm very irritated by this cut feature that they were going to do that I think would have made the level way better. Which was they were going to factor... It was going to be like in the middle of a tsunami. So there was going to be like rain and wind and physics affecting stuff. Like you throw a grenade and the wind arcs the grenade in a specific direction and stuff. Like platforms would be falling into the ocean. Massive waves would be crashing. But then they remembered they have to achieve almost 1080p, 60 FPS on the Xbox One. And so all that shit was cut. And it's hard for me to appreciate Tsunayon because all I'm like, I'm like, oh my God, what could have been? What could have been, man? What does the crown mean? What crown? Oh, the crown that just popped up. Did a crown pop up on the screen? Hey, Late Night, big fan of your videos. I'm a big fan of you. Thank you for joining the stream. In an alternate world, Halo 5 was a 30 FPS game. It was socially acceptable for games to be 30 frames per second back on the Xbox One era, like around the start of it. And in my personal opinion, Halo 5 should have taken the L and made its campaign a 30 frames per second experience, just so that they could have squeezed more visually impressive, mechanically impressive, just set pieces. Like all of the extra power they could have gotten from just cutting 30 frames out of the rendering. We could have gotten so much more interesting stuff visually. YouTube chat has XP now. Hell yeah. Look at that. That's a butterfly fish. Say what you will about Halo 5 campaign, but it has more Halo feeling levels than Infinite. Well, Infinite's mostly open world. Crown is a leaderboard thing. Gotcha. Okay. Did they make me King Halo 5? Here, let me reset. I don't think it's loading. Hey, LNG, when it comes to Halo 5 story, this is very clearly not the game they were intending. How do you think they could have delivered it differently? Well, the thing is, I think this was the game that they were intending. Like, that's kind of like the sad tragedy of Halo 5 is that there wasn't like a last-minute rewrite. There wasn't like chaos behind the scenes and stuff. It was way too ambitious of a story with not enough resources or time to tell it. And they overscoped way too far, I think, during pre-production. Like, they had all these ideas of, like, yeah, it's going to be, oh my god, like, the infinity. It's going to be, like, this hub world that you can go to these different planets and, like, talk to people and have flashback missions where you figure out what Chief did on those planets. And it's, like, a big investigation. You hunt the truth. It's going to be like Destiny. And it was just, they didn't have the resources that other studios had, like ZeniMax, Call of Duty especially, Destiny at the time. You know, Bungie had extra support from Activision's various studios, as well as the research and even some of the tech from working on the Call of Duty series. It's just, what they were making was way too ambitious, and what it was cut down into was every single idea they had, but done at much smaller of a scale and kind of squeezed into a traditional Halo campaign. So none of it feels like it makes much sense or was well thought out, like the guns down missions being kind of what was left of the hub world ideas. And so they just feel very out of place and very undercooked and half-baked. And then, of course, like the kind of borderline incoherent storytelling feels very, you know, it's definitely like a problem of the writers siloing themselves from everybody else and not really communicating until it's too late, you know, when everyone can see the story and they're like, oh, this has problems. Holy shit. You know, it's like, well, it's too late. It's in the game, and the game's got to ship in a year. We've got to build the content, or we're not going to make ship. Like, there's... So I've heard, like, okay, Brian Reed, he's the boogeyman of the Halo community. Folks don't like Brian Reed. And yeah, Brian Reed, maybe, you know, he's not the best fit for the Halo series, but some of the things Brian Reed wanted to do but could not do in Halo 5. Like, he wanted, like, he wanted aspects of the story, like, he wanted there to be the main plot, and then there could be B, C, D, and even E plots that would only happen if you engaged them. And some of those E plots would be things that the community would sometimes take years to discover. Like, in the first mission, after 30 seconds or whatever with this encounter, go to the side of the map and look out in the distance, and you'll see a cloaked figure watching, and then the cloaked figure walks away. And then that will trigger the Easter egg for the next mission. And it would culminate in maybe not different endings, but you realizing that certain story moments that happened for a reason, and that reason was taking place right under your nose. So, like, the actual story would still play out exactly the same, but you'd find out that certain aspects of the story are being pushed forward and motivated by unseen forces. And you could investigate those forces and discover what was going on by engaging with these multi-mission, multi-year, out-of-bounds Easter egg type things. And if that sounds crazy ambitious, it's because it is, and that's why it's not in the game. Because they were thinking of, like, well, if you're going to be like a detective, like you're trying to hunt the truth, discover where Chief went, what he's been up to, why he's missing, like, let's really let you investigate. Maybe some of the things you're investigating are going to take you down paths you didn't realize were even there. And maybe some investigations had to involve the community coming together. A good example of a game being too ambitious is Spider-Man 2, where they had to redo the entire third act. Yeah, what was up with that? I've read about that Spider-Man 2, Insomniac's Spider-Man 2, they essentially had to redo the entire third act. What was up with that? You should try out the Arkham games. Oh, I've played all the Arkham games, just minus Origins. I think my last message accidentally passed the character limit. LNG, how is it after infecting a Halo ring in Halo 2 and infecting a Shield world in Halo Wars? The Floods still seem completely pathetic. They aren't making any moves, and they seem completely suppressed. Well, how are they going to get off the Halo ring? You know? You saw in Halo 1 how a ship, they just went fucking crazy when they saw a crashed ship. They were like, oh my god, this is awesome. This is exactly what we need. Like, that's all they needed was just a ship. Because otherwise, like, they can just sit there. You know, like, oh yeah, we took over the Halo ring. I guess we live here now. And until we find a way off-world, we're stuck here. I smoke za. As well as, like, the Flood also sometimes, they just sit and wait, you know? Like, they'll kind of go, like, dormant. You know, they'll reach a certain place, and then they'll go dormant. Sometimes for years, sometimes for centuries. Like, the Flood are definitely, for the most part, suppressed. Because when an outbreak does happen, it's usually communicated to enough people that everyone knows to just stay away. Like, hey, that world is Flood world. We don't know what to do with it. They own it. We're not going to blow up the world, because if we blow that up, it's just going to send a bunch of rocks with potential infection vectors across all of space, and then who knows where the Flood could end up. So they can't leave. They're stuck there. Just let them have that world. I heard that apparently the development team for Halo 5 were in conflict with the marketing team. Oh, they weren't in conflict. Like, it wasn't anything so dramatic. There wasn't, like, beef and, like, blah, blah. It's just, like, everybody worked independently of each other, you know? They're building a game where Master Chief goes rogue. There's Guardians that are waking up. You know, and you're thinking, like, you're pitching it to Xbox. Like, you pitch the game to Xbox, you're like, okay, here are some of the back-of-the-box things that maybe we could use as selling points in marketing. Chief's gone rogue. Hunt the truth. You play as a detective. Yeah, is Chief, I don't know, is Chief really a friend or a foe? Like, you gotta find out. And there's two characters. The detective who's searching, the hunter and the hunted. Like, there we go. There's our 5 things. And then the marketing team is like, okay, those are the 5 ideas they have for their game. They're making their game right now. All right, team, come on, let's get into a team meet. Did they still have Skype back then? All right, come on, let's get on Skype and let's all talk together. And it's just the two teams are doing something completely different from one another. And the way it sounds is that the marketing team got very excited about the ideas of Halo 5. And perhaps went too far with some of those ideas and accidentally made the game seem a lot different than it really was. Could Flood not develop interplanetary travel eventually? How? How would they... Like, the zombies? The guy with his, like, skeleton rotting? Like, you want those zombies to be, like, making blueprints and, like, ordering people, like, other zombies to, like, you know, like, and now you, get the bolt cutters, like, hey, you, we need you to fashion some wires. All right, team, come on, we got this. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, team, let's build a spaceship. The Gravemind tentacles could put together stuff. Yeah, but I don't think, like, the Gravemind uses his tentacles to, like, kind of like Legos, like, assemble a starship. You know? Like, I could not see the Gravemind. So, okay, I'm thinking, okay, we're on a planet, right? Or like a Halo ring, potentially. You got to deal with Sentinels. You got to deal with defenses. Keep in mind, Delta Halo, the Flood hadn't even taken over the Halo ring. They were quarantined. That's why that level is called Quarantine Zone, and why there is a big wall. It's because the Gravemind, the outbreak was only on a specific part of the ring, and the automated systems had sent up a quarantine zone, trapping the Gravemind there. The monitor was inside the quarantine zone and was taken over. So the rest of the ring was basically on autopilot, making sure that the infection doesn't break quarantine. But as for like a shield world and stuff, there probably isn't much that can be done. Because at that point, the shield world is like... So, for those of you who don't know, a shield world is, it's like a planet, but it's hollow. So think of like, you know how planets are, we live on the outside of it? For a shield world, you live on the inside of it. Like, if you look up, you can see, like, the other side, you know, of the, because you're inside of a giant sphere. For the shield world, it's like, oh no, there's been an outbreak inside of me. And then it just doesn't open the doors, and the Flood are stuck inside. They're not going anywhere, you know? Okay, it is just not finding anybody in quick play. So, what about a Flood dinosaur? Well, have you ever seen a T-Rex? I don't think a T-Rex can build anything with those little arms. Like, I know what you mean, but I think, like, as an organism, it's probably in the Gravemind's best interest to not exert energy spending years, centuries, decades with no food source, no extra biomass to consume and live off of, like building up the tools, the capabilities, the equipment, and then finding the materials in the environment. And if the materials don't exist, like manufacturing it out of like rock, like doing whatever chemistry you need to convert local resources into the specific metal alloys you need, or wires or rubber and stuff. Like, it would take so goddamn long that the Gravemind would probably starve to death. So it's better to just like stop moving and just conserve energy and wait. Just wait. Just wait until something crash lands. And then just take that ship, you know? The Gravemind has teleportation powers. He does not have teleportation powers. What he has is hacking the Halo ring because he has the monitor. Hacking the Halo ring and using its teleportation grid powers. And at the time, High Charity was basically above the ring. Like, that's how close to the ring High Charity was. So he was able to teleport them a couple of miles away from the ring onto High Charity. And then you saw that later on in that mission, they just, like, the Flood are able to get access to a Pelican, and then they use the Pelican to get off the ring and properly start spreading. Search Slayer? All right, we'll search Slayer again. LNG for president. Oh, thank you. My decree, if I were to become president, is that U.S. tax dollars are going to go towards funding new updates for the Master Chief Collection. It's going to come to the Switch 2 as well as the PlayStation 5. And yeah. Oh, also, United States tax dollars are going to go towards making a flood horror game. And the release day of every Halo game will become a national holiday. Halo 5 on Switch 2 would be insane. Oh, okay. Yeah, also, tax dollars are going to go towards porting every Halo game to every system within reason. So, like, Halo 5, we're going to get that shit on the PS4. Same with the Master Chief Collection. PS4. We couldn't put Halo 5 on an Xbox 360 because that's ridiculous. But we could get it on a PS4. So it's coming to PS4. Same with the Master Chief Collection. Oh, for sure, PS5. Same with MCC, you know. And also, yes, Halo 5 will get a PC port. I'll also sign an executive order on day one to get Halo Wars 2 brought to Steam. As well as a balancing pass for air units. I'm also going to direct resources towards funding the creation of a real-life energy sword. LNG, why didn't they send a prelate to stop Chief when he infiltrated? Why didn't they send a prelate? Prelate? How do you pronounce that word? I know what it is. I've just never had to say it out loud. When he infiltrated High Charity, it seems like that would fit their mission criteria. I'd assume it has something to do probably with just like the chaos, because within an hour of Chief infiltrating High Charity, the Flood invaded, you know? So I'd imagine by that point they had their hands full with a city-wide outbreak of the Flood. Wow, it's just not searching. It's not finding anything. Okay, you know what? Let's go over to Warzone Firefight then. Is no one playing this? No, people are playing it for sure. It's something weird is going on with the matchmaking. Like, I was able to find a match immediately. Just like 20 minutes ago. You know, immediately. Back-to-back matches, actually, I think. It's something to do with the matchmaking. You know, something happens. And I wonder if it has something to do with like my hardware, because I'm running this on the Xbox Series X and it sometimes doesn't agree with Halo 5, or if it's something to do with the matchmaking algorithm. Like, I played enough matches and now it has found a bracket for me to be in, like the invisible bracket, and now it's having trouble finding matches for me. That makes more sense, even though it's not explained. Guess Flood can't be teleported either. Well, I don't think it needs to be explained. It's just like, you know. The only instance of teleportation that we've seen in Halo 1 and 2 is in relation to the ring's teleportation grid that the Monitor has direct control of. Like in Halo 1... Guilty Spark can teleport Chief around. And they established that. Or I guess, yeah, Spark can teleport Chief around. Cortana makes a point about how she can hack into the teleportation nexus to get Chief where he needs to go. And then in the sequel, the Gravemind is like playing around with the Monitor of that Halo ring. And then you see Chief and Arbiter being teleported in with a very similar visual effect applied. So it's like, oh, that was the teleportation grid, wasn't it? Press the sprint button to find a match faster.
This is Warzone Firefight. You're the last boots on the ground.
Ranked Slayer is fast. We'll probably try ranked then.
Difficulty. Round 1. Incoming Covenant. The Covenant is using Promethean tech.
Yeah, that is something actually. Like all of the Halo 5 players, you guys can probably attest to that. That it is easier to find ranked matches than it is social matches. Damn it. I was about to thrust back into the shield, but I could not. And thus I died.
Red confirmed.
The end.
Teammates eliminated an elite specialist.
Open your packs, Mr. President.
Round complete. Level 2 Rex
I will do that once this match is over. We'll do loot box opening. God, that sucked. I don't know how anyone else feels about that, but that was like...
Red confirmed.
It was like the laziest content you could make for a game at the time when loot box were taking over, where it's like okay, picture the camera is really zoomed in.
Respawn time
Ooh, and then it zooms out. Hey everyone, today we're going to be opening up 500 rec packs in Halo 5 that we just bought with currency. Okay, let's open up the first one. Okay, alright, we've got the Halo 1 Magnum. Oh, we got a couple Profits back. And it's just like that. It's just you reacting to opening up card packs. I hated that shit. It made me so mad. I was like, you hacks. You talentless hacks. You guys don't deserve YouTube channels. And then when the loot box craze gets out of control, they're like, yeah, the loot box problem was maybe a little bit too much. It's like, you contributed to it. Like, don't pretend you're on our side. It's like the people complaining about the price of skins are the ones who upload skinned comparisons. Like, today we're gonna check out the new smoke weed bundle in Warzone. Wow, that's really crazy. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of it. Okay, let's buy another one. Wow, that one looks cool. I like the inspect on it. And then their next video is, I think a big problem with Black Ops 6 is that the skins just got too wacky and wild. It's like, it's your fault! You contributed to it! Use a good controller, huh? What would you prefer I used? My brain? Wait, no, don't answer that, okay? Be mean. No, don't be mean. Be nice. Be nice. You guys are about to say something really goddamn mean to me. And I opened myself up to it. This game is only on Xbox. What am I supposed to use? Look at this guy playing a console with a controller. Let me guess, he also needs power to run it.
Only a couple targets left.
To be fair, I think American Dad is far worse than weed. Yeah, I guess I could have said American Dad.
Remain.
I would prefer you use the Connect. Like, alright, Halo 5? Matchmake Warzone.
Targets eliminated.
Matchmake Warzone. No. Back out. Matchmake Warzone. Uh-oh, the Shih Tzu has zoomies. Hi, Tiki. What did you do? Did he pee somewhere secret? Was he behind me, guys? Did you see him do something suspicious? Is his Titi food ready?
Incoming Covenant.
Oh. The Shih Tzu has zoomies right now. This is the worst possible time.
Ghost targets.
I remember when you could use the Kinect for Combat Evolved Anniversary. It's crazy because that Combat Evolved Anniversary thing was also, like the Connect thing for Combat Evolved Anniversary, it was also linked exclusively to like this in-game codex where you could like look at the models. And that wasn't decoupled from the Connect or brought back for the MCC version. And I'm just like, why? Why? That's cool. Oh man, you know what we should do, guys? On this stream, we should take a look at Combat Evolved Anniversary, the 360 release of it. Because I think in all of our hatred and venom and gnashing of teeth, we forget that, like, the Xbox 360 release of Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary is actually cool and good.
Level 4 Rex
like,
available.
the quality of the release, I think, and
complete.
what is included in it, kind of almost like it acts as a counterbalance to like the aesthetic of the remaster and our own grievances with it.
Wreck confirmed.
I prefer the Prometheans over the Flood. I can hear Luke screaming from here over that take. But after seeing what happened to Halo 4 and 5 armors and Infinite, I don't want Halo Studios touching them since I have a genuine fear it will turn them into Sentinels, which I know chat would probably... Man! You gotta look on the bright side, man. Some of these takes are so sad. Why do you talk about the things you like? You're just making yourself upset. You're depressing me. Come here. Come on. Ah! Okay. He hit me way too fast. Okay. That's fair. That's fine. Bloody pins playing Halo 5 on a console. My Rex are only giving me Hydra launchers, LNG. Is this a sign? A sign of what? That you should start opening up the next tier? Probably. What should I get? What's like a weird gun? Oh, the splinter turrets are slept on.
Wreck confirmed.
I feel like, after playing so much Halo Infinite, where, like, the turrets are, the turrets have incredibly specific uses, that taught me to kind of treat the turrets a little bit more seriously. I feel like returning to older Halo games, I find myself better now with actually using the turrets, and I discovered this splinter turret I should have been paying more attention to. Does Halo 5 also have the bug where if you walk up and to the right, you run ever so slightly faster? I don't think so because of the animation change, but I could be wrong. But look at this. Look how much damage this is doing.
Only a couple targets left. Targets eliminated. Round complete.
There we go.
Level 6 Rex available.
It's like you pick up a turret, and then you walk up and to the right, and then so that you can walk straight, just kind of turn your aim that way. And it's like you walk ever so slightly fast. I don't think that bug is in Halo 4 or Halo 5, though. But it is in Halo Infinite, for some reason.
Final round. Incoming Prometheans. Soldier targets active.
I don't think there is anything you could do that would make me play that with Viscera cleanup detail ass graphic. What? What am I reading? Oh, the Combat Evolved Anniversary remake. I was like, what?
Hostile Knights.
What's that button? Oh, I guess they're just buttons. Okay. That seemed like an Easter egg, right? Like, my gamer senses were telling me that, like, those things, I should have, once I hit them or held down, you know, X or interact or whatever, one of those buttons should have slid, like, into the wall and then bleep, which would have triggered something on the map somewhere that I'd have to find. Okay, we need to go get another thing. Oh my god. What is going on? Okay. A Halo horror game where any faction, for any faction would be good. Like an insurrectionist horror game where you have to hide from Covenant forces and you have incredibly limited ammo to fight back with. Sorry for going AFK. I'm watching Dexter with my friend. Very interesting show. Dexter hasn't aged well. Right? Like, I'm not the only one who feels that, right?
Wreck confirmed. Takedown.
Suppress that knife.
All rounds clear, Spartan. Simulation complete.
Knights were fun to fight in this game. I enjoy the satisfying weak points. Yeah, the Halo 5 Knights are actually, like, they're very, very, very good. Good Halo enemy. They're actually more fun to fight in this game than the Hunters are. They feel more like Halo Hunters, I think, than the Halo 5 Hunters do. Because I like that the Knight, you have 2 different opportunities to insta-kill it. You could knock off one wing, and then it opens up its face and screams at you, and you can pop it with a headshot. And it reminds me of the old Hunter fights, where if you're able to get close enough and bait him into a charge, like, that's kind of it. Like, the Hunter's basically dead, because you're going to be able to pump enough damage into his back to kill him. But then they got rid of that in Halo 5. And just made them boring bullet sponges that take 1,000 years to put down. Here, let's... Today, guys, on this stream, we're going to be opening up loot boxes. I dropped $500 from my mom's credit card on this game, so let's open up the first one. Not bad, not bad. Now here comes open number 2. Halo Wars 1 was so good. Halo Wars 1 is so good. It's got such a, like, effortless charisma to it. In a way that I think even Halo Wars 2 doesn't quite have. Like, Halo Wars 1 is just... It's really hard to explain. Halo Wars 1 is just a Halo-ass Halo game. And its version of the monk chant is so good. Why haven't we seen drones at ODST? Drones are in Halo Reach. Remember, there was a whole set piece with them where you in the Alexandria level, where you find one of the beacons and it was a trap the Covenant set up for you, and then you get attacked by a bunch of drones.
Suit up, Spartans. This is Warzone Firefight. You're the last boots on the ground.
And it's a really good question why the drones haven't come back. Like, part of me thinks 343 couldn't think of anything interesting to do with them. Possibly also an issue with, like, resources and...
Incoming Covenant.
Resources, creative bandwidth teams, like, they probably had, like, very limited bandwidth to put into, like, a variety of different alien creatures and stuff. Because on one hand, you think, why'd Halo 4 strip down the Covenant so much? Like, this game's such a downgrade compared to previous games. But you gotta remember, it's because for every Covenant member, like the brutes or the drones that are missing, you have Promethean Knight, Watcher, like, Crawler, you know. So it's like those resources were being put elsewhere. And same with, like, Halo 5, you know, they actually upped it a little bit because they added the Soldier, as well as reworking some of the other Prometheans. And then for Halo Infinite, part of the reason that the Prometheans aren't in that game, like, just outside of the whole reboot thing they were doing, was because of bandwidth. Like, the Banished had the most amount of creatures in it, including the introduction of the Skimmers. You know, and then the Sentinels were also getting, like, kind of like a full gameplay pass. You know, the Sentinels in Halo Infinite, it's easy to kind of, like, see them and it's like, hey, there's the robot things. But, like, they have lines, you know, squeaks, honks, like, they communicate their feeling to you. They will dodge and flip around and stuff. You know, if you get close, they melee attack you. They have patterns, like, to their behavior, so they're treated more like AI. Rather than kind of like environmental hazards during the Bungie years. So there was a lot going on. Oh god, including the boss battles and stuff. Because the Banished, some of their bosses actually have unique AI. Like the Blade Master, he doesn't function like an elite normally would. He has his own unique animations and attack patterns and stuff. So it's, you know. Look, these guys have, like, a lot of emotion. You couldn't really tell on the Xbox One because the dynamic resolution would sometimes drop so low that it was... And it was so goddamn shimmery. So shimmery looking, the image. But on Xbox Series X, where you can see them actually, like, at a full resolution, and if you get close enough to them so that their animation quality doesn't begin degrading... There's a lot of expressiveness in their emotions. Which is funny, because canonically these guys, they don't have composed essences in them. They're just robots. They're just drones.
Only a couple targets left. Targets eliminated. Round complete. Level 4
one thing I missed from Halo 4 and 5 were the Mantis encounters and the music themes in the campaign. Oh, like the Mantis Stomp theme? Yeah, that track's good. That track is very, very, very good. Crawlers should have kept the ability to walk on walls and roofs. They were basically grunts in Halo 5. I wouldn't say they were grunts, because they serve a bit more than... Like, grunts definitely are like cannon fodder, but they're a different form of cannon fodder. And yeah, I completely agree. I think, like, if I remember right, it was actually due to tech-related things. It was something about the tech of Halo 5, like the crawlers lost the ability to crawl on walls, and one of the campaign designers I talked to about Halo Infinite said that if they, you know, way back when they were, like, not even, like, began production on Halo 5, back when it, or not Halo 5, with Halo Infinite, like before Halo Infinite, when they were still like, what do you guys want to do for the next game? They were like, if the Prometheans come back, one of the things we gotta do is we gotta give the crawlers back their wall crawling ability. Like, we gotta actually, like, invest in rebuilding that stuff so that they can do that again. Has anyone ever thrown out the idea that instead of the Sentinel Beam, you could use the whole Sentinel as a weapon? That would be awesome. That would be cool. Oh my god, that would actually kick ass. Because it would be like squirming and screaming and stuff, you know, because it's trying to get free from you. So it's like you pick up like a living gun, basically. Like it's just like, you know, you fucking like hit it or something to get it to start shooting its Sentinel Beam around. That would be awesome. Holy shit. It would have been cool to see a plague of drones patrolling Halo Infinite instead of the skimmers. The Gaskira are cool looking, but I miss the bugs. Yeah, I miss the bugs too. I really like the skimmers in Halo Infinite. It's, you know, like Halo Infinite, the kind of like lack of polish and the open worldness of the campaign means you rarely ever get an opportunity to fight things in close quarters. You're usually approaching them from a distance and they can see you coming and they're facing you and stuff, and you know, you usually kill them before they have the ability to do anything interesting. But the skimmers have like some fun little behaviors, and I like the detail that skimmers hold the guns upside down. And you can see like with like some of the weapons, it will actually drag them down a little bit because the weight, and you can see them like pulling as hard as they can, and their jetpacks kind of go into overdrive to lift the weight of the weapon, and then they kind of like stabilize and stuff, and then keep shooting at you.
Grunt mech on the ground.
I don't like the Sentinel Beam design in this with the floaty bits. Well, I think, isn't this like a different Sentinel Beam? Like, it's not like a traditional Sentinel Beam, right? They call it the Safeguard Sentinel Beam, I think. Yeah, Safeguard Sentinel Beam. The sterilization beams of Safeguard Sentinels are highly efficient at containing and cauterizing intrusions. So it's like, I get the vibe that this is from some kind of unspecified Sentinel type that we have not seen before. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so that guy right there, the Grunt Goblin, the story behind the Grunt Goblin is that it was a morale boosting exercise 343 Industries was doing, because Halo 5 was like soul crushing to work on the live service for. They had a new content drop every single month for quite a few months. And it was just like everyone was miserable, people were burning out. And 343 Industries had basically like a come to work, we'll pay you, and we're just gonna like have fun. And they did what's called a game jam, where it's like basically everybody is organized into teams and they have to come up with a fun prototype of something. And it, you know, like don't worry about if it belongs or anything like that in Halo. Like just make something cool. And the Grunt Goblin, I think, won the game jam. And they were actually inspired by Mech Anime, the teams that created the Grunt Goblin. Which is why in Halo 5, the Grunt Goblin, you know, it's like a robotic grunt piloted by a little grunt. And the Grunt Goblin will announce its attack. See, right there. Like, he'll announce his attacks like an anime character. You know, he'll be like, rapid needle attack! And then, like, a bunch of needles will fly out everywhere because they were trying to, like, ham it up, make it a little bit hammy and cheesy. That's fun, right? That's how the Grunt Goblin was made.
Wreck confirmed. 2 minutes remaining.
And it was actually, it was supposed to be in... it was supposed to be in Halo Infinite at one point, but...
Level 7 Rex available.
Can't remember if he was the producer of Halo 5. He left during Halo Infinite's development, but he was not the biggest fan of the grunts. He thought they were very annoying. So he wanted his little grunt presence as possible, so he shot down the Grunt mechs.
Incoming Covenant.
That's at least the story that I've heard. He was his gentleman by the name of Tim Longo.
Elite targets nearby. Teammates eliminated the Elite Prime. Incoming Covenant.
Yes, it's the Safeguard Sentinel beam, but we also have no canon look of said Sentinel. Yeah, so there are Sentinels that we haven't seen yet. We've only seen, like, some of their technology. What the fuck is that sound? Oh, that's that thing. Aw. He just gave me his Phaeton. Here's a question. What do you all think the skins look better in Halo 5 or Halo Infinite? That's tough because Halo Infinite has so many more skins that it's almost like it's a hard comparison because Halo Infinite just has a shit ton more skins. Like, it has hundreds of coatings. Whereas Halo 5 only has, like, 20. I will say, I think Halo 5, if we're talking purely about the launch of the game, Halo 5 had more creative skins for the weapons at the launch of the game, because they had, like, interesting patterns and stuff. Where with Halo Infinite, it was mostly, like, this chunk of the assault rifle is red, while this chunk of it is blue. You know, you didn't actually have, like, patterns until much later. Where Halo 5, out of the gate, had patterns on the weapons. Tim Longo, why does that name seem familiar? I think he was LucasArts? Ex-LucasArts, and then he joined 343, and he was campaign director, I think, or project director or something for Halo 5. And then he just became a producer, basically, for Halo Infinite. But it sounded like, and I share that Grunt story not to be like, hey, go, get him. It's more of like it's just like the people who make the games, we like their people too. And Tim Longo just thought grunts were annoying, which is okay. I think there were even people at Bungie that thought grunts were annoying as shit as well. Tim Longo, though, it sounded like Halo 5 was like a harrowing experience for him. Like, he took it really hard that the game didn't reach the potential he wanted it to reach, and he was kind of described as like The Walking Dead. Like, his heart was almost like you could tell from some of the folk that I've talked to. They said, "Oh yeah, Tim seemed like he was The Walking Dead after Halo 5. His heart just wasn't in it anymore." And sure enough, he left 343 Industries, and I hope whatever he's doing now is more fulfilling for him. I met him also personally, and he was like a very, very nice guy. What do you think about the explosion prettiness of Campaign Evolved? Oh my god, the explosions in Campaign Evolved look so goddamn good. Like, so good. Oh my god, Campaign Evolved's explosions made me very happy. The only thing that did not make me happy was that they still do the explosions in just one, like all at once. If you remember in the Bungie games, at least around Halo 2, 3, and Reach, vehicles, when they explode, they blow up in chunks. Like for the Warthog, it starts with some shit on the back. Maybe the bullet casings on the turret will explode first, and then another part will explode, and then finally the gas explodes, and the whole Warthog goes up in a fireball. So it's kind of like bam, 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 boom, you know? Where now the explosions are just kind of like boom, like the whole thing just explodes immediately and that's it. And I noticed they still just all of it explodes at once. But the actual quality of the explosions are great looking in Campaign Evolved. Like, you throw the grenade on sandy surfaces, and just like a plume of sand shoots up into the air. You know, the plasma grenades leave so much, like, wispy light blue smoke after they detonate. Yay. Damn it. Okay. You can tell how he and Josh Holmes were not comfortable on the stage talking about Halo 5 in the Halo World Championship Halo 5 panel last month. Were they? Were they there? What the fuck, was Josh Holmes at HCS last month? And I missed him? Holy shit. I can't believe I missed that. Tim Longo and Josh Holmes were at HCS. Josh Holmes, he was the, I think, creative lead on Halo 4. And prior to Halo 4, he worked on, it was like a, was it boxing for EA? And then he worked on the Turok reboot for the 360, which I thought was, like, okay. But I also thought it was okay having no experience with the Turok series. So I assume it was not actually that good. Because people do not think about that Turok reboot very highly. But then, after the Halo series, he left 343 Industries and formed his own studio called Midwinter Interactive, and they released a little game in 2019 in early access called Scavengers. Scavengers was essentially a proto extraction shooter. It was all winter themed. You collected loot, and then you had to extract with the loot or something. It was either you had to, like, go into the map and complete an objective and then extract. I don't know if you actually collected loot or something. But, needless to say, the reason you don't hear about Scavengers is because it was a flop. It had a huge player base at first. Or not huge. No, it never even had a huge player base. They had server infrastructure that could support up to 9,000 players on a single server, and they did this big stress test to prove that the technology was worth it. But the actual game never attracted anybody. And then Josh Holmes sold the rights, I think, to Scavengers to some tech company that honestly, they were more interested in the tech, I think, than they were the games. And then Scavengers just fucking died, you know, shut down before it even left early access. And then Midwinter Games, Josh Holmes' studio, they got a gig doing a spin-off game for Dead by Daylight, I think. But then that project fell through. And now Midwinter is dead. I feel like if we ever got a new Division game, the Dark Zone would probably be more like an extraction shooter. Probably. I'd hope that they'd keep it mostly the same, because I feel like the Dark Zone had like its own special sauce. Hell, I like the Dark Zone more than I like Destiny raids. Something I noticed while riding Gunner on the Warthog in Halo 5 is the smoothness, where the turreting on the Infinite Warthog with another player driving is jittery. Yeah, especially if you're playing above 60 FPS. It feels like even though the game is running at like 100 FPS or whatever, the Warthog is still updating its position in the world 60 times every second. So it looks like it's constantly teleporting to the next spot. Like it's not very smooth, the networking for vehicles. But even that probably isn't it, because like Rebecca and I, when we play, it feels fine. It's inconsistent. Fish! Rebecca caught a powder blue tang. Jesus, man, game development is brutal. It is brutal. And you want to know something really sad about Josh Holmes? The reason I was like, what the fuck, Josh Holmes was there? Is because back when Josh Holmes announced his game, Scavengers, because Kazuma Jinochi made the theme song for Scavengers for him. Because he and Kazuma are still friends. This was after Kazuma left 343 Industries. He then just sort of like popped up out of nowhere and was like, hey guys, I composed the main theme for Josh Holmes' new game, Scavengers. I asked Josh Holmes, like, hey dude, isn't this risky that you're making your studio's first game a multiplayer game with no bot support or AI support? What happens if the player base just isn't there? And Josh Holmes responded to me with a gif of a guy crying and hugging a bottle of whiskey. So basically saying like, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna become an alcoholic. So I wish that I could have, like, shaken his hand, said, like, hey, like, thank you for all the memories you've given with Halo, and just, like, I guess, like, asked him how he felt about the whole Scavengers situation. Not in, like, a mean way, just, like, in a curiosity way. Because I'm sure he's got, like, thoughts on it. You know, and what he thinks about, like, the industry and stuff. LNG, favorite fish of mine is Northern Pike. Is Northern Pike in the fishing game on Twitch? You guys should play the fishing game on Twitch. Go check out the Twitch, guys. There's an exclusive fishing game, and I do stream sometimes exclusively on Twitch. And we put a bunch of hidden shit in there. Like, we've got all of the armor abilities from Halo Reach. They're in the fishing game. We got, like, medals and stuff, Tamagotchis. Just, like, little things. Sometimes you can catch, like, a real fish. Sometimes you catch, like, a Halo thing. Wait, one of the composers? Yeah, Kazuma Jinochi. He did some of the music for Halo 4 and was the main composer for Halo 5. He was 343 Industries in-house composer before he left. His last piece of work was the announcement music for Halo Infinite. It is a rendition of the Wildlife track from Halo 3. You know, the one that plays on Sierra 117. And he said it's probably his favorite piece of music in the Halo series, and that's why they went with that one for the announcement of Halo Infinite. And yeah, it's a damn good track. At least I think it was called Wildlife. Can't remember the name of it. Yeah, now Kazuma, though, from what I've seen, he's living his best life. I think he even got a Star Wars gig for one of the Star Wars the animated things. Oh shit, Rebecca caught a Needler shard. Hell yeah. What did Tech Pawn catch? He caught the pike. So you can spam it. There's no cooldown. You can literally spam fish.
Incoming Promethean threat.
Oh, there is 30 seconds? Okay, never mind. You can't spam it. Okay, never mind. There might not actually be a cooldown, so
Promethean threat materializing.
ignore me saying ignore.
Soldier Commando takedown.
I just watched the Black Ops 7 campaign,
Level
and
6
it's
Rex available.
something. Yeah, it's hot shit is what it is. It's
Teammates
trash.
eliminated the Soldier Commando.
It's a bad game that they took a very long time to develop, and they should have known better.
Wreck confirmed. Wreck confirmed.
I feel nothing but disgust at the managers, producers, data analysts that said this is the best direction with the time that we have to make this game. This will please enough people. I have nothing but disgust and hatred for those people, and I feel pity, despair, and sadness for the poor developers that knew what they were making was a mistake, and they still had to make it anyway, and put their name on it in the credits. It's practically an AI-generated game. No, it's not an AI-generated game. That's dismissing genuine creative mistakes. Saying, oh, it's AI-generated. That's saying it's nobody's fault. Nobody made it. It was the computer that made it. It's like, no. No, the problem is that there were people that said this is the best type of game we can make. And then they put everyone to work on it. Oh, that's the Warden Eternal. I hear him yelling. What should we get? Okay, you know what? That's what he sounds like when he's screaming. Let's grab damage boost as well. Oh, okay, or nothing. That's okay too. Okay, let's take this thing up and let's go see if we can put down the Warden. Ah!
2 minutes remain.
You liked Gareth Coker's Infinite campaign music too, right, LNG? Or am I misremembering? Oh yeah, the Halo Infinite campaign had a freaking awesome soundtrack. It had a great soundtrack. Perhaps a little bit too serious. There wasn't a lot of fun in the Halo Infinite soundtrack. You had, you know, kind of like a Peril from Halo 2, where it's just this bouncy little happy, whimsical song. But I thought everybody involved in the Halo Infinite soundtrack killed it.
Teammates eliminated Warden Eternal. Level 7 Rex available. 1 minute
Sucks
left.
they fooled me. I thought it was going to be a good direct sequel to Black Ops 2. The second that they showed Menendez in the trailer, it should have been very clear that, oh, this is going to be terrible. Because if you know anything about Menendez, you know that it makes no sense to continue. Like, there's no not just because he's dead, that's why he can't come back. You know, or he's in prison.
Left.
But just his motivation, there's no reason for him to keep going. That's the beauty of Black Ops 2's story, is if you're going by the bad ending, at least, he literally achieved everything.
Night Dignitary takedown. All rounds clear, Spartan. Simulation
He was never about, like, haha, now we destroy America. Come with me, Mr. President. I need the launch codes. Like, that wasn't the reason that he destroyed all the drones after attacking Los Angeles, is because he wasn't, like, we're gonna attack America. It was more about showing that, like, for decades stewing hatred around the world towards America, and then taking control of America's forces, and then just, like, destroying them and be like, look, America's weak. They can't do shit. Fuck them up. And that destabilized the entire, like, American system, which kind of led to the kind of dystopian future world of, like, he just, like, the world took his sister from him, so he was going to take over the world. So, destroy America, ripple effects begin happening, global destabilization, and then by the time you get to Black Ops 3, it's a dystopian hellscape where you've got mobs of angry poor that are throwing Molotov cocktails at, like, riot police, and the rich are, like, trying to live forever in AI simulation systems, and it's like Menendez won. He got what he wanted. So for him to come back is like that's not... Yeah, Black Ops 7 just looked like, oh, they don't understand Black Ops if they're going to be trying to bring back Menendez. I wish the Halo 5 Pelican would return. I would love if the Halo 5 Pelican returned as a heavy gunship, or even the Condor form from Halo Wars 2, because that thing looks badass. I actually saw there's a Halo 5 model kit that somebody's selling near me for the Pelican, which I might grab. Because I've adopted a new worldview after the HCS, which is I'm tired of folks arguing. I just want to like Halo stuff.
Suit up, Spartans. This is Warzone Firefight.
You ever gonna get to that 152? I don't think so. I think it's too. It's.
Rounds of increasing difficulty.
I don't have it in me to grind Halo 5. The grind for Halo Infinite is absolutely destroying me. And once I get that Master Chief thing, I don't know if I can do video game grinds. You know? Like, who knows? Also, both Harper and Karma are alive in Black Ops 7, which I don't think can happen in BO2 because Fareed needs to sacrifice himself for one of them. I mean, that stuff is all like, of course they got that detail wrong. Have you seen the whole game? Like, I think part of the reason they did that, like, have, you know, those contradictions is because they were trying not to invalidate anybody's choice. So they basically created a timeline where a little bit of every choice is canon. Just so that they didn't have to finally sit down and say one of the endings of Black Ops 2 is canon. And I think I have a solution to that. My solution is they should not have made a direct sequel to Black Ops 2 involving characters from the Black Ops 2 campaign. Black Ops 3, for all of the stupidity of it, it understood that it had to set itself decades in the future. Otherwise, it would have to sit down and tell some players that their story of Black Ops 2 was the wrong one. So it just skipped ahead to the future, so that enough time had passed that a lot of the choices made are kind of, like, inconsequential. And also just, like... So, Black Ops 2 is a product of its time. It was speculative military fiction of what technology would be like in 13 years, because it released in 2012, so it's like, guys, the near future, 2025, we'll have data pads on our arms, and little glasses that pop up holographic displays. When you go to an airport, there'll be a big screen. and it can see what you're hiding in your suitcase in real time in a very techie looking way. And dubstep will still be in fashion. Guys, the future, 2025. Like, all of it was speculative. You know? And a lot of that technology does not exist, or is so primitive and early in development that, like the military aren't using, like, X-ray scopes, you know, that can see people through walls. Like, dude, they're still using rifles that were made 30 years ago. Like, you know, Black Ops 2, it only works within the context of the time period it came out in, and that's what makes it fun. You know, it'll always feel like, yeah, like, regardless of if it's 2025 or not, or 2012, like, it does feel like a game that is speculating about near future. But Black Ops, like, the Warzone era of Call of Duty, all of that stuff is canon and connected to the Modern Warfare series. So you're fucking telling me that Modern Warfare 4 now is going to have to start grappling with all of that technology that we just saw in Black Ops 2. Because Modern Warfare 4, it's Modern Warfare. It's current time. So I better see Captain Price riding, like, drones into battle with, like, X-ray, like, goggle, Ghost Recon, advanced warfighter type tech, you know, and like, a rail gun that lets you see people through walls and shoot through walls. And it's just like, it creates so many headaches for the Call of Duty brand now, because, yeah, Black Ops 2 was the future one. But now Black Ops 2 canonically takes place present day. Yet it has, like, this fantastical futuristic technology that doesn't exist. So now Modern Warfare is going to have to be, like, a science fantasy futuristic shooter. Because it has to be canon to Black Ops 2.
Level 4 Rex available.
And YouTube would have a dislike button in 2025. Oh yeah, also that's another thing. Canonically, in the world of Black Ops 2, YouTube is still using the YouTube layout from 2012. YouTube just never changed it. Yeah, and that dislike bar, it's still there. YouTube's still using it in the future of 2025.
David Mason was a good character. David Mason was a very good character. I like David Mason a lot. And the Black Ops 7 David Mason is not David Mason.
Round complete. Level 6 Rex available.
Curious question, LNG. Have you ever seen those early Halo 5 flashback cutscenes? I have. They were part of a larger thing that was ultimately cut from the game. I can't remember if it was for, like, narrative reasons or if it was, like, they were way too ambitious and also they, like, ruined the pacing of the levels. But they were going to have these... So remember in that like, weird moment in the Halo 5 story where Chief hallucinates Cortana, and she's like, "Come to Meridian, Chief," and then she makes a Guardian rise out of the ground, and then that's never brought up. What was that? Who knows? We're moving on. That was part of a larger thing where Cortana is sending Chief vivid hallucinations, and some of the hallucinations, I guess, were data mined from the code, or somebody uploaded them who worked on Halo 5. And it is like first-person recreations of events from prior Halo games. where the animations are shockingly game accurate. Because you're looking through Master Chief's face, so all the little subtle head movements in those old cutscenes were accounted for. And one of them is Chief giving the Covenant back their bomb.
Confirmed.
Another one is Chief crawling up the Forward Unto Dawn to Cortana's pedestal at the end of Halo 3. And they were cut from the game, ultimately. You don't know what's super weird? With the 4K update, the holographic pop-ups, I don't know if it's showing on the YouTube stream, but, you know, you aim down the sights with this thing and a holographic pop-up comes up. Now it's gone. For some reason, I guess it's like a mask, you know, for editors, Photoshop people, the best comparison is a mask. The mask isn't lined up properly, so you can see bits of the holographic display still rendered. It looks like a couple of blue pixels are floating next to the gun.
Round complete. Level 7 Rex available.
I also dislike how they made Harper look like Michael Rooker. He didn't look like that in Black Ops 2. Yeah, he did. He looked like... The reason you don't think he looked like Michael Rooker in Black Ops 2 is because Black Ops 2, everybody looks like cardboard or plastic. Because the COD engine is, like, terrible. And also, it was the Xbox 360. Yeah, he looks like Michael Rooker in Black Ops 2. He's just got, like, crazy Wolverine hair.
Covenant hostiles in the area.
It's that Michael Rooker does not have crazy Wolverine hair in real life. So it makes the shape of his head look different than you're used to. Like, Harper looks like a blockhead in Black Ops 2 because of the shape of his hair. But his actual face and, like, skull structure, it's just Michael Rooker. It's like, you know how Nathan Fillion plays Green Lantern in the new... for those of you who don't know who Nathan Fillion is, he's the voice actor and face of Buck in ODST. He plays Green Lantern in the new Superman movie. But some people didn't realize it just because he looks like a completely different human being thanks to his hair. Hey, don't do that to me. Damn it. Okay, well, that's fair. I was gonna see how long I could just, like, stay near him.
Wreck confirmed.
Can you do a deep dive video on cut Halo 5 story mechanics, missions, weapons, etc.? Could be a good idea. There's a lot of videos that I could do. I need help with editing some of them. Dude, Nathan Fillion has the most recognizable face ever. But for some people, part of the face is also the hair. As weird as that sounds, like your hair becomes almost like, it's just like your head shape, you know?
Teammates eliminated a boss.
And that's also kind of like for me as well. Like I have a hard time recognizing people because I recognize head shape. So if somebody changes their hairstyle, it usually takes me a little bit longer. Like Nathan Fillion, I didn't realize it was Nathan Fillion for the longest time until I was like, God, he seems familiar. And then I was like, what the fuck? That's Nathan Fillion. Because I'm so used to Nathan Fillion with, like, the buck hair. Because that's the hairstyle he's had for, like, decades. 'Tis a shame that I'm currently at work and can't watch for too long. Oh well, might hop on to members Discord voice chat tomorrow and stream some Quick Champions Doom Edition for funsies. Oh, I'll have to pop in and watch that. So I'm curious. I wish they used the 117 motif in Infinite. I think they do, maybe. I actually found out the breaking mission in Halo 5 isn't a Forerunner city. It's literally the Domain. You were in the Forerunner internet the whole time. The breaking is a rough mission. I think it's easily Halo 5's worst mission in the game. Like, just from an environment perspective, art perspective, even, like, story. Like, the breaking is a series of hallways, and a radio play is happening. Because you've got, like, the Warden Eternal and, like, Cortana just fucking talking over the radio. Remember, on a stream, I've said, like, one of the things that I hate in modern games is the, like... Trying to think, would it be on your left? Yeah, it's usually up here in modern video games. The character portrait, and just they're fucking talking constantly. You know, if it's just you can be sure that a little character portrait is going to come up, and it's going to be like, are you receiving me? Hi, I'm going to yak your fucking ear off for this whole mission. And for some reason, you've got a little photo of them. Who took the photo? No one knows. And the breaking suffers from that a lot, which to me means, okay, combined with the art isn't very good for that mission, you don't really know where you are, and the game never even tells you where you are or what's happening. And the fact so much exposition happens over the goddamn radio with the character portraits, I bet you that mission was...
Elite targets nearby.
It was meant to abbreviate a bunch of story moments that were supposed to have more fleshed out missions. And they ultimately, you know, when pre-production was over, they realized they didn't have the time. So they were all merged into one mission, the breaking, and it was kind of like rushed very quickly. Is it Elite okay?
General takedown.
Am I crazy, or is the Covenant pieces in Infinite the CE remake uses? I think it is. I wish I mentioned that in my video on the Campaign Evolved remake. I think that's what they are, because they look like forged pieces. They're not very detailed, like, at all.
Sangheili General takedown. That's a headshot. Level 2 Rex available.
Nathan Fillion also played Hal Jordan, not Guy Gardner. So this is the second Green Lantern played. What did you think of Superman 2025? I actually still have not seen it. I still have not seen it yet, but I would like to, because it looks, like, good. I watched all the Mr. Terrific scenes on YouTube. Because, Mr. Terrific I thought looked stupid, and I thought I was going to be really annoyed by Superman's, like, Super Friends or whatever. Because I'm tired of the MCU, and I'm tired of interconnected, like, superhero teams. And I think the Justice League is lame as shit. So I was like, I don't want this. But then I saw the Mr. Terrific scene, and I was like, oh, god damn it. Mr. Terrific's really cool. So I watched all of his scenes on YouTube. And that basically was like, you know what, Superman's friends seem cool in this movie. Fuck, I really want to see this movie. I just got to Brigadier General Grade 3 in Halo Infinite. Hell yeah, keep going, man. I like how slender the elites are in Halo 2, or in Halo CE. I like how slender they are, but I also like how broad their, like, chest is. Like, they're freaking crazy looking, their anatomy. That's why it's really hard to translate the Bungie Halo aesthetic into, like, photorealism, because so much of it is just, like, super exaggerated proportions.
Teammates jumped
Like
at
the
target
elites
ghost.
look like they waist trained with corsets. Thoughts on Half-Life 3? Is it really coming out, or is the internet delusional? The internet's not delusional. Like, Valve is up to something. They've been working on something. Correction. He's goddamn Mr. Terrific. Yeah, that's when I was like, fuck, Mr. Terrific's cool. I don't know how James Gunn does it. How he takes like these awful characters, like these just terrible ideas, and he makes them so charismatic.
Wreck confirmed. Round complete.
Maybe because he sees something in them that is initially off-putting. Because I see Mr. Terrific from the comics, and I'm like, what a fucking terrible idea for a character. Like, that's such a stupid-looking character. But James Gunn sees that, and he's like, this is a great character. People just haven't realized that they like this guy yet.
Round 3.
Did you like Peacemaker? I don't care about
Incoming Covenant.
Peacemaker. I don't know. It just looks like your bog standard American TV show.
Hunter targets.
It's very hard to explain outside of that, but it's just they all follow a formula, and they all are very.
Enemy fire. Got a hunter all over me. Under fire.
Have you seen Justice League and Justice League Unlimited? Because the new DCU is like those shows. I don't really like the animated superhero stuff. Like, I like Star Wars, and even I can't bring myself to even get through the Clone Wars, which is apparently really good. But also some of that is I don't watch a lot of shows anymore. Like, so some of it might not be personal preference, but more like viewing preference. I kind of prefer movies over shows. Because a movie I only need to devote maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours of my life to, and then the whole story's done. Or a show is basically like a 20 to 30 hour movie.
Teammates down to hunter target.
Would you
Teammates
say
down to
American
hunter
shows
target.
fall in line, maybe one at a time?
Level 5 Rex
What are you
available.
referencing?
Round complete.
Is that Blow Me Away? Blow me away! Well, it's your loss then. That's okay, I don't mind. I'm glad other people, though, are enjoying them. I'm just not the biggest, like, superhero guy. Like, I have a handful of superheroes that I like, but the MCU really burnt me out on big superhero franchises.
Wreck confirmed.
Like and universes and like all of these characters and stuff. It's almost like it's done the opposite
Wreck
of
confirmed.
broadening my mind to a bunch of superheroes, and it's actually made me retract a bit.
Wreck
Because
confirmed.
I don't even feel like I'm a Marvel fan anymore. Like, I like Spider-Man. Always gonna love Spider-Man. Not enough that I'm gonna like go out and buy Spider-Man comics, but as far as DC, Superman's cool. I'll watch his movie. I will not watch Superman cartoons. I won't buy Superman toys. You know, the Justice League. Don't care about the Justice League at all. I like a handful of superheroes, and that's kind of all I have room for now after the MCU. I'm so tired of interconnected superhero universes.
The Flash movie was such a letdown. Yeah, I heard Flash was some hot trash. Halo Forward Unto Dawn or the Halo show? Like, which one's better? Oh, dude, Forward Unto Dawn runs laps over and over and over and over around the Halo show. And then Master Chief from Forward Unto Dawn jumps onto the Halo show like he did the Hunter and shoves a grenade into the Halo show. Well, the music is going crazy.
Teammates eliminated Warden Eternal.
Like, easily Forward Unto Dawn.
Round complete.
Like, the Halo show may have stronger
Level
production
7
value
reps
and better
available.
props, but Forward Unto Dawn has so much, like, in spite of its limitations, it has so much spirit and soul.
Wreck confirmed. Final round. Incoming Phantom.
Waking up before school and turning on Cartoon Network and Clone Wars is on used to ruin my day. I think some of
Massive
that
incoming
also
Covenant
is,
threat detected at the beach.
by the time, so, with Star Wars and stuff, I was super into Star Wars as a kid. Like, super into Star Wars. Like, oh my fucking god, I was obsessed with Star Wars. But by the time the Clone Wars show was airing, I felt sort of outside of the age range. Because the first season of the Clone Wars is, you know, this is the episode where Yoda helps the primitive tribe fight back against the technologically more advanced separatists. And the droids make the battle droids make the funny sound when their tank blows up and they have to run away. Like, it was like that stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I think I'm outgrowing Star Wars.
Incoming Phantom.
And I've heard it gets better later on, but,
Hostile Wraith.
you know. I'm glad enough people watch the Clone Wars that it has, like, its diehard fan base.
Teammates scrapped a
You know,
Wraith
it wasn't for
target.
me, but it was definitely for an audience, and it found that audience. And that's fucking awesome.
Round complete. All rounds clear, Spartan. Simulation complete. Level 8 Rex available.
Red Hood is the only thing I like from DC. Isn't Red Hood like... It's like something about, like, the Red Hood was Joker, but then it was Robin after Joker. Something like that. I don't like Robin either. The only Robin I like is the corny one from the Adam West Batman series. That's my hot take. I think the Bat family is stupid. The only time I've ever liked Robin is in a corny depiction of Batman. Here's a quick, Robin, to the Batcave. And then they lift up like a, oh god, what was it? It was a statue on his desk, and he presses the button, and then the bookcase moves. And then there are two poles for them both to go down. Like, that Robin, that's an awesome Robin. And then they usually get tied to a rocket ship that has the word rocket put on it or something. Or they're dangled over a vat of sharks. Actually, no, they didn't have the budget for real sharks, so it was probably like boiling water. I was in 4th grade when the Clone Wars aired, and I fucking loved it. I also discovered Halo that year. See, that sounds perfect. You were exactly who the Clone Wars was aiming for, and it fucking worked on you. And that's awesome. And it's cool that went on to influence, like,
it was very clever because folks like me, we got all of our love out of the movies, and then the prequels come out, and it's like, but by that point, we just got over the thing of like, okay, now we are too old to sit down and binge watch a cartoon every Saturday because other stuff is going on in our lives. But you guys were, you guys essentially were like an effective, you were part of an effective reboot of the Star Wars property back then. Because after the movies were done, they were like, well, shit, we got no movies coming out in the theaters. How do we get a bunch of kids into Star Wars? We're going to make a fucking show called The Clone Wars. And it worked. And you guys kept the Star Wars train going. So when I play stuff like Battlefront, you know, the EA Battlefront 2, the clone troopers, they're like, all right, brothers, let's all get it. And I'm like, whoa, why do the clone troopers sound like that? Why are they calling each other brothers? That doesn't sound like the clone troopers I remember. They sound like emotionless. You know, they sound like Jango Fett, right? But that stuff, I guess, is from the Clone Wars depiction of the clone troopers, right? Like a lot of the more peppy, upright, like, all right, brothers.
Level 2 Rex
Bungee jumping. Like, I like the episode of the Clone Wars where the droid genocides a coven of space witches using the space magic to raise an undead army. Where General Grievous toys with his opponents like Freddy Krueger. That's crazy. That happens in that Clone Wars show.
Red confirmed. Round 2.
Red Hood is a resurrected Robin from the Lazarus Pit who was beaten to death over days by the
Incoming
Joker.
Prometheans.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I remember. And didn't Batman Arkham Knight do like a really bad retelling of that story? Because the Arkham Knight was so obviously Robin. Even though they tried saying the Arkham Knight was an original character, it was just like the most obvious thing on planet Earth.
Night takedown. Round complete.
Yeah, it's just so interesting hearing like people's different perspective with franchises as they get older. Oh, Rebecca got a diamond from the pond. Fish. Sega, not Mega. Holy shit. I wish we could get a good Sonic show. Dude, me too. Like, the only thing I still have room in my heart for watching, like, okay, yes, I will sit down and watch a kid's cartoon, is Sonic the Hedgehog. Guys, this award-winning Clone Wars show, don't have time for that shit. Sonic and his stupid friends, fuck yeah, I'm seated. Yeah, that Netflix Sonic show, I didn't like that at all.
Wreck confirmed.
There is a good Sonic show, and it's called Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom's, like, funny, but I guess okay, I grew up with Sonic Adventure, you know, like that era of the Sonic franchise, so for me, Sonic is actually cool. Shadow with a gun is fucking cool, dude. Like, that's my Sonic, is like the early 2000s, like, cheese and cool, and like, Sonic listening to butt rock and riding a skateboard, and holy fuck, he's just so cool. So Sonic Boom gets very annoying after a while, because it's just like, it's just constantly making fun of itself. And that like depreciating humor was funny in the 2010s, but now it's just sort of like I guess like tiring. Like it's kind of like out of fashion now. Like people want things to take themselves a bit more seriously. Like, you know that part in that Spider-Man movie that everyone makes fun of? You know, where it's, who are you?
My name is Otto Octavius. And they're like, no, really, what's your real name? Because that's a dumb name. That's so fake. We don't take ourselves seriously. Oh my god, the Grunt Goblin's gonna kill me. Like that kind of like, look at me, I'm a circus clown, I'm a jester, I'm making fun of myself, aren't I worthless? Like that kind of humor, it's very tiring now. Did you watch the Knuckles show? No. No, I did not. I like Sonic, but not the Sonic movie enough to watch a show about Sonic movie Knuckles.
Red confirmed.
I know, it's very complicated. There's so many rules, even I lose track of the rules. I'm like, okay, I will not watch the Clone Wars show, but I will watch a Sonic cartoon made for tiny babies. No, I will not watch the Knuckles show made for tiny babies, because that's different. That's the Sonic movie.
Incoming Covenant threat.
Thoughts on Kelly's armor in Halo Legends? Didn't she just kind of look like the armor from...
Your position.
Trying to remember. Like, she has a toy now, right? I thought it'll look cool. I like their Halo Legends armor. I'm happy we're finally over the irony poisoned era. Yeah, it's fucking miserable now. And it feels so, like, weird and out of touch when... Like, because there are still projects in various media that have been in production for a while. I feel like the most recent was Concord, where you could tell that was put into production during the irony era. So Concord was, like, full of, like, haha, aren't we silly and ridiculous? Oh my god, it's crazy that we made a game like this. But still, you occasionally see something come out, and it's just... It's so fucking miserable. Because it's full of that Marvel-type humor. Oh my god, Rebecca and I, we have been, ever since, like, that, the stream where you guys informed me that the new Metroid game is gonna have a Marvel character in it. Who spouts, like, Joss Whedon-esque quips, banter, and stuff. It is... Rebecca and I, we have been on a fucking kick. And my sister-in-law, she is a very, very, I'm not even sure how to say it, or... What is she? Marketing director? Or something. Like, and she just, like, though... It's fun trying to explain to her that it's like, no, like, that's Joss Whedon humor. Like, that's not funny anymore. Like, that, people hate that shit. So I just hear, like, her and Rebecca talking about whatever, like, work or something like that, and I hear just Rebecca say, oh, ew, that's Joss Whedon writing.
2 minutes remain. Grunt mech takedown.
She's a creative director. Stop, she will kill you.
Level 6 Rex
Yeah,
available.
she's a creative director. What did you expect? Yellow spandex? Black leather? Yeah, it's exactly like that kind of stuff. Just like being embarrassed about its roots. But I don't know, even that felt like it had, like... Yeah, that's like a little bit too, like, on the nose.
Final round. Protect that target, Spartan.
Missed bits. I missed bits? Oh! Hang on. Let me go up. Where are the bits? Hey! Was gone a little bit. What's up? It says Chef and the Arbistor. And he donated 100 triangles. Dude, thank you so much for that. I appreciate the bits, man. How are you doing? Which is worse, though, the Irony era or the Random XD era? Oh, that's... Oh, man, that's... They're both pretty bad, I think. They're both bad, I'd say. They're both bad. God, maybe the Random era might be slightly worse. That might be slightly worse, the Random era. It's hard to say, though. And it's also hard to say because, like, I was in middle school, I think, around the Random XD lolcat Psychinaz cheeseburger era. So, unfortunately, I've participated in that and helped, facilitate it, you know? So, like, I am guilty of like a crime. So as having lived through that and also unironically did my own LOL with LAWL and then like XD or like a cat face or something in middle school. Because that's how you were supposed to flirt, and we were tiny babies, and we didn't know that we were contributing to the destruction of pop culture. There's a part of me that cringes a lot at that. So I would say Random lolcow. No, not lolcow, lolcat. That's worse. Raffle. God, it fucking sucked. And every now and then Rebecca will find old Facebook memories, because she and I met in middle school. Rebecca and I have known each other well over a decade. Well over a decade. Almost 2 decades now. And
2 minutes remain.
She'll be like, look at this. This is on Facebook. It's when we were babies in middle school. And it's like the worst fucking shit I've ever read. Because it'll be like, lol, I'm a dinosaur. Like, you know, it'll be like that shit. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. Why? I'd bully me too if I saw this kind of shit. Father, forgive me, I have sinned. I flirted to a girl by means of random XD humor when I was 12. Yeah, I feel like... Oh, man, what are the unforgivable sins in the Bible? It's like... Blaspheming the Holy Spirit, I think, is one of them. Definitely flirting.
All rounds clear, Spartan. Simulation complete.
Flirting via lolcat, random, rah, I'm a dinosaur. Like, that's gotta be an unforgivable sin. Right? Just the natural character arc. The character arc. Oh my god. You need to load up Forge at some point and mess with the glitched weapons. Oh, here, you guys want to see something fun, actually, that's Forge related? You guys want to see how I do those view model animations in Halo 5? Well, and I guess Halo Infinite by extension. Here, I'll show you. You guys are about to see some behind-the-scenes stuff. Where is it? My files. What was I doing on Tyrant? Oh, I think I was doing, oh my god. This was a video that I felt like wasn't going anywhere, but I actually think I need to do it. It was, the fusion coils. My files. No, not Sandstorm. Not Gorlami. Black screen. Okay. Oh, here we go. There's a problem with the dedicated server. Thank you, Halo 5. But I assure you, Halo 5, there was not a problem with the dedicated server. The dedicated server was fine. You just need to do as I say. You know what's going to be the coolest thing about the next Halo game? That we won't have to hopefully deal with shitty Halo UIs that barely work. Is anyone else tired of like shitty Halo UIs that don't work? Okay. Hang on, let me scroll up. No, I read that. Random XD can have good instances, particularly Gmod animations. It's also more original and enjoyed itself more than the irony poisoned era. That's true, but remember, I was part of it. I was unfortunately part of it, so I feel guilt. So it hits harder, I guess. So this is where the magic happens, fellas. If I need to get any animations of any view model from Halo 5, I fucking take that shit, come up here, and then what'll usually happen is, you know, I'll have like a thing to pick up here. So it's like, okay, we're gonna do view model of the SMG. Right there. You know, and then I just sit here and wait for, like, the idle animations to play. I've got a light above me. Sometimes I have to, like, turn to see if I can find the right angle, because sometimes the lighting doesn't look that, you know. But that's how it's done. And I got all the weapons in the game on this table here. And then over here are my various green screens that I use, you know, for a variety of different purposes. Like if I need like an animation that's green screened or something, you know, if I'm doing like a thumbnail or something like that. There we go, that's there. And then over here is, there we go. If I need, you know, like the 3D, like the 3D model and stuff. I've got a light that is above it and a light below it, and then two lights on either side so that the whole thing is kind of like illuminated. So those shots where it's in a black void, that's how I do it in Halo 5. And I got a very similar setup in Halo Infinite. What is this? Sorry, that you did not ask it that confrontationally. It is my black room where I do my view model animations for the Evolution series. Oh, here, okay. Here, let me show you. This is how I would do it when I was like I had way too much time and I could actually like sit around and goof off and like try to get all the details exactly right. So what I did was, okay, let's say I need to get, okay, I've got my empty energy sword. I need to get a picking up animation. But what happens is if you pick up like this, then like watch this. Okay, here's the SMG. You can see the gravity hammer drop out of, for a second, you could see the gravity hammer, right? So what I need is I need nothing. It needs to, I pick it up. You know, nothing is dropped in return after I make the switch. So I empty out an energy sword. That's what that Wraith is over there. That's what the Wraith's purpose is. It's that I can beat all of the energy out of the energy sword, you know. So I've got an empty energy sword. In Halo, when you drop an empty weapon, it just disappears into the ether. Like, it doesn't exist anymore.
So I can go like this. All right, let's get the animation of the SMG. There you go. No energy sword was dropped because it was out of ammo. Yeah, and there we go. We got a clean pickup. And I use that Wraith over there. You know, I got it set to respawn instantly, and I just beat it until all the energy sword ammo's gone. But yeah, that's how the magic is made. Shrimp Zone. Are you shrimp head on or a shrimp head off guy? I don't really like shrimp that much. Rebecca is allergic to shrimp, so being married to her, I've phased shrimp out of my diet. So I don't really eat shrimp anymore. I don't think I've ever even had it with the head on. Last one before I head back to work. We'll never get how people can say the Halo Infinite's Wraith looked anything like Halo 5's. The only shared details are the plasma turret model and the cockpit placement. I think it's the cockpit placement. And as well as I think how tall the rock or the launcher sits when it extends. Some of the I could probably do a deep dive, like really study it. There is something about it that's Halo 5y, the shape of the Halo Infinite Wraith, and I'm not quite sure what it is. But I suspect it's that way to share animations and stuff. So I'll have to, like, take a deep dive. It does definitely look more like a Halo Reach Wraith than it does a Halo 5 Wraith, but there is some similarity, I think. Is bedtime? Okay. Who are you going to main in Sonic Cross World? I main Rouge. Oh, man. Probably Sonic or Shadow, to be honest. Shrimp allergy is a non-starter. I'll eat those little shits like popcorn. So good. I used to feel the same way about calamari. But then I learned that octopus are, like, really intelligent. Like, extremely intelligent. And I felt bad about eating something so smart. And also, I once ate so much calamari that I got sick to my stomach and threw up. And I have not eaten calamari since. And I mean, I won't now, just because, like, I don't want to eat something that is that intelligent. Shrimp look too much like bugs, don't they? I was just eating stuffed clams. Clams are good too, but shellfish also, that's like something I phased out of my diet because of Rebecca being allergic, so. Thankfully, there's lots of yummy food in the world, so I don't think I'm missing much. Calamari are squid, not octopuses. Well, how intelligent is a squid? Shrimp are bugs. So why does Halo keep using Halo Reach models for vehicles, feeling like the Sonic model never being changed? I agree there. I really hope to God in the Halo Campaign Evolved thing that I do not see the fucking Halo Reach Banshee. I am so tired of the Halo Reach Banshee. No, I'm not going to get too crazy. Okay? I'm always so scared to use the Wraith because it's so risky to use against a tank. Like a Scorpion? Oh, yeah. Well, that's always because, like, the Scorpion, unfortunately, is, like, the most powerful vehicle in every Halo game that it's in. To the point that it's, like, very hard to even put in multiplayer because it just kind of steamrolls through everything. Would you eat bugs if you had to, like Snowpiercer, roach blocks, or just starve it out? Oh, well, okay. If I was literally starving, then sure, I'd work up the courage to eat. Can I cook them at least? Can I cook them?
Pigs are also smart, too. Yeah, pigs are also smart. Have you ever seen, like, pigs, if you, like, domesticated pigs or, like, farm pigs? I guess not domesticated, right? If you let them go in the wild, they, like, revert back to, like, wild boar. Like, that's crazy to me. Reach was a solid standard for a while, but I'm getting tired myself. Yeah, like, I like the Halo Reach Banshee. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool design. But I'm so fucking tired of the look of it. Like, they nailed the look of the Banshee in Halos 1 through 3. That Banshee looks so goddamn cool. With the, like, really thin wings and the big, big lights, you know, and thrusters on each of them. And then with Reach, they came up with, like, this new, sleeker, more aerodynamic, like, streamlined-looking Banshee with, like, you know, more fighter jet-like wings. And it's like, yeah, that looks cool in Reach, but then Halo 4, or Halo Campaign of, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary used the Reach Banshee. And it's like, why'd you paste that over the original Banshee? The original one looked cooler. And then Halo 4 also used the Reach Banshee. And then Halo 5 made a new Banshee model that looks a lot like the Reach Banshee. It was inspired by the Reach Banshee design. And then Halo Wars 2 comes out, and oh shit, the Banished. They got their own Banshee model, and it looks kind of like the old Banshee, like the one from Halo 1 through 3, just it's been banished up. It's like, oh, this is fucking cool. Halo Infinite comes out? No, we're just using the Reach Banshee again, but we turned it red. And then they show off, you know, like their demo of like a Halo in the Unreal Engine, and you see a Banshee flying through the snow, and it's a fucking Reach Banshee. I'm so tired of that design. I hate how Reach models are the standard for every game, and I'm quite honestly really sick of the Reach nostalgia. Operation Ghosts, of the Shadow of Planet Reach's noble operation. Thank you for the... Is that 200 little triangles? Thank you. Thank you for the 200 bits and that little rant about Reach. I think we are past the Remember Reach thing. I know what you're talking about. With Halo starting in 2019 when Reach came to PC, Halo entered about maybe 3-ish years where it was just like, remember Reach, remember Reach, remember Reach. Oh my god, first operation of Halo Infinite, remember Reach. Spartans in multiplayer, they look kind of like Reach Spartans, don't they? And that's pretty cool. Like, oh my god, Halo show, Season 2, remember Reach, Reach is gonna fall. Look at that, that's a fucking Grunt. Look at the Halo 5 main menu. Look at the Grunt floating away. He's down at the bottom right. There he goes. I think we're done with the Reach nostalgia, though. Like, I haven't seen a lot of it lately. It's time to forget Reach. No, not forget Reach. It's time for us to move on and start nostalgia glazing Halo Combat Evolved in Halo 2. Because it's Y2K culture is back. You know, people like that aesthetic, and Halo 1 and Halo 2 are Y2K games. I mean, Halo 1 is like, you know, late 90s aesthetic. It's kind of like the last of the late 90s stuff. But that's where we're moving on to. All right, fellas, I'm going to start closing up shop now. I appreciate you all joining me. Why remember Reach? Why not remember Green Hill? Yeah! Wait, no. Remembering Green Hill sucks. That's like the worst part of Sonic. Is that, like, Sonic Team thinks that, like, oh, Sonic is Green Hill. Sonic lives in Green Hill. Sonic, it's like, no, Sonic, oh my god, in the original Genesis game, Sonic grew up on, like, the fucking South Islands or Christmas Island or, like, Green Hill was a single level that he went through in Sonic 1. It was not the place he lived, you know? But, Sonic Team seems to not understand that. Or at least pop culture seems to think Sonic literally lives in Green Hill, and that's where Sonic loves to be. It's like, no, it was just the first level in Sonic 1. Sonic ran through Green Hill Zone and then never returned there again until pop culture thought that Sonic lived there.
And now Sonic can't escape Green Hill Zone, and it's his personal hell. He can run as much as he wants, but that fucking loop-de-loop, it'll always be there waiting for him. The checkerboard sides of the cliffs, they're waiting for him. Do you think 343 Reach Nostalgia has made Halo Reach a bad game automatically? No. No, Reach is great. Reach is great. No, Halo Reach is awesome, man. We can get tired of a little bit of the nostalgia, you know? The nostalgia for things comes in waves. Right now, we're starting to get back to Halo 1 and Halo 2 nostalgia. People miss that, like, Y2K aesthetic and stuff. I promise you, when pop culture begins moving towards the mid to late 2000s, we will start seeing people glazing up Halo 3 again, / Halo Reach. Then, who knows, we might even see a revival of, like, the 2010s, like, Iron Man hologram, like, super techie look of Halo 4 and 5. It's all cyclical. Sonic grew up in southern St. Louis. Yes, that sounds correct. I think Sonic grew up in southern St. Louis. All right, fellas. I shall see you all later, okay? This clip is hilarious. Did I do so? What is that? I like Halo 4 multiplayer. Not just you. There's lots of people that like Halo 4 multiplayer. All right, YouTube guys. I shall see you all later. Twitch guys, you stay put because I'll give you guys a special goodbye. Not like that. Not like that, YouTube guys. Be mature. Be responsible, okay? How do I shut this thing off?